Okay, today we're starting with the Active Directory Certificate Services. Later we're going to do IPAM, and we're going to test those stuff. And the question I was asking is, what do major things certificates do? Authentication, encryption, exactly. Authentication and encryption, exactly. When you're buying a certificate from outside authority, you can choose, hey, I want certificates just for authentication, or I want certificate just for encryption, or both. Both means more money, anyone means, whatever the price is, and depends on who is the certificate authority. If you're asking for outside certificates, an example of outside certificate authorities. GoDaddy.com and Semantic also issues certificate. Yeah, I guess. VeriSign.com. Any other? Actually, there are scores, so many. But oh, you know what? If we just go for certificate authorities.
Say there was an issue from
Outside.
Yeah, from Microsoft, and they said if you had the unsigned certificates, you have to replace all the certificates with something signed, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna go one by one with that scenario. But definitely, you cannot even set up Exchange server without putting a certificate, signed certificate. There is a self-signed certificate, which means Exchange server saying, "Hey, I am saying that I'm a good guy, so trust me and do business with me, or I can handle your email services." So normally it doesn't work that way. Self-signed is not acceptable in critical services, so they just go for, hey, I know VeriSign, the clients all believe. Or if you're doing a collaboration with another company, that company already has a very expensive VeriSign certificate, and then they want to have some collaboration, and they say, okay, I want you guys to access my resources, and my employees will access your resources. And then the other company asks, what certificate authority you have certificate from? And you say, you may have certificate from, there are free certificate as well. Some certificate authorities are giving free, or $10 per year, $5 per year. VeriSign is very expensive actually. It goes to a lot when you're really specific about many things. And then there are types of certificates. So then if I just go for list, okay. So if the company can actually say, no, improve your certificate services, DigiCert, yeah, this is also expensive. DigiCert, as well as VeriSign, as well as GoDaddy. These are just some common names, but when we go out and search for certificates, they are all types. They all offer very good encryption, very in-depth encryption, and the more higher encryption they support, the more expensive they will be. But also, that when the data is encrypted in more deeply or with higher encryption, it takes time to encrypt, then it takes time to decrypt as well, right? So you really there is that performance issue when it comes down to that. So first of all, while we are talking about, we can just set up our lab as well. So we need one DC and one member server. If you have Windows, we never tried Windows 8, right? Wait, you have Windows 8?
I have Windows 7 at home.
Oh, okay, not here. And you are connecting from home, so okay. But anyway, yeah, member server would just do fine. If you have a member server, it's okay as well. Oops. Okay, so I'm just gonna log in from a member server as well. So while we're talking about the concepts, just making sure that our lab is there intact, and trying to. So I'm just gonna go and check if my server 03. Oh, server 03 is actually server 02, and it's a member server. Good. Is it? Promote the server to domain. Yep. Okay, so just make sure you have one member server, one domain controller. just resuming. So well, this is all about success. Oh, you can do it, no problem. Yes, of course you can do it. So let me just pause by. I wanted to share some important stuff, basic stuff, which is always the same in any certificate services, or especially when we are installing Active Directory certificate services, or ADCS. And then I'm going to go jump to 2012 slide and continue. But the main topics in 2008, which for certificate services, are the same for 2012. What's the difference? We're going to jump to 2012 slide, and we're going to know that as well. Let me just check. Did I really continue? Okay. So what are certificates? And then PKI hierarchy. PKI, anyone knows already? Public key infrastructure. Okay. So standalone versus enterprise CA. So you want with Active Directory certificate services, certificate services working alongside Active Directory, or standalone certificate services. But if you are following best practices, we must have a standalone certificate, and we're going to talk about that now, the design side. Then we're going to see that the design side changed or improved in 2012. So installing enterprise CA, whenever we talk about enterprise CA, it's certificate services, certificate authority with Active Directory. Standalone just means it's standing alone. Okay. So user auto enrollment. You want all the users to be assigned, to be given a certificate to access your network resources, your Exchange server, or your especially your Active Directory environment. So there is an automated way to deploy certificate. Suppose you just created 100 users, so you can Active Directory can automatically deploy at once certificates to all the 100 users. So there is auto deploy, or whichever OU users you want to deploy certificates. There's a manual way, which is, hey, request a certificate, fill this form, and then it will be approved. And this is also online, digital, everything. But auto enrollment, it just automatically enrolls this certificate for all the users. Then there is computer auto enrollment. Also, every computer can get. So there is that functionality that we're going to discover as well, or test. Certificate revocation and CRIL, CRL, certificate revocation list. Revocation means easy, right? What? Revoked. So you got certificate for 1 year. Yes, you can use our file server for 1 year. Yes, you can use our this server for 1 year. But and the mid of the year, your certificate is revoked. Revoke means you cannot use the certificate to access anything, especially for VPN. Certificates are given so you can remotely access from home, and those once that certificate is expired, you cannot connect to VPN, right? You have to renew that certificate. So CRIL has to be there. You have to configure the revocation list, certificate revocation list, and it's just that it maintains all the list. You just have to revoke the certificate, click, and it updates in all the areas. Okay, this certificate has been revoked, and that user cannot log in or use that certificate anymore. Okay, useful link for ADCS reference. Yeah, we're gonna. So TechNet has all this, and who goes and read that? You should go and read that. Okay, so what are certificates? So I'm just going for basics. Certificates are form of digital identification. Okay, digital identification. Certificates are used to identify an entity, for example, a user or a computer. And we're going to configure a certificate. We're going to see that. Certificates can be used to both encrypt files and communications, as well as prove identity. Encrypt files and communications, as well as prove identity. So the two major things: encrypt files and prove identity. Authentication and encryption. Certificates are issued by a certificate authority, of course. Either you can have outside authority, as we just discussed, or you can have ADCS, Active Directory Certificate Services. Certificates have the information about the entity and about its issuer. So it has information about you, your full name, and your computer name, the server who issued the certificate, and the type of certificate. So it has all the relevant information. We're going to create one certificate today. In fact, 3 certificates from ADCS, and we're going to get an idea. Oh, okay, that's it. That's how it works. Certificates have an expiration date, of course, and they can be revoked before expiration. Okay, 2 types: internal CA and external CA. So a certificate issuing server inside a network is internal. Certificate issuing website which is not part of an internal network and is working publicly, that's external, of course. Good. So internal CA is good for use among company employees and resources. So we're going to deploy internal CA in our company as well. One of previous companies, there was the requirement that, hey, our internal communication is not that secure. One of the higher management guy was saying. So it was suggested that, okay, let's just deploy then internal certificates as well. We already have external certificate from some authority, from some CA, which is really expensive. They used to have that, but now for internal security, you can have free version of the certificate, but it's just gonna be internal, and an outside company wants to access your network and needs to know what security measures you are deploying. So you cannot say, oh, we have internal CA, because the other company will say, what? Internal CA just means that you're saying yourself that, hey, I'm good, trust me. No, VeriSign should say that you're good and I should trust you because I trust VeriSign. So it's all about trust, right? But also VeriSign goes through background check of the company, background check of some higher management and CEO, and maybe even the criminal records of fraud records of the higher management. It does really good background check and then gives a certificate, and it also has, of course, very strong encryption capabilities. Its certificate is very sophisticated, supports a lot of other features. So when you're using that certificate, it has a reputation. Oh, VeriSign, okay, we know the procedure. They are tough people, and they really cross-check the companies, and then they issue certificates, and they're expensive as well. So definitely, I trust you. So let's just do the forest trust and connect our networks, and no problem. For GoDaddy, I mean, if the procedures are less thorough, of course, it's up to you. You wanna really make communication with in collaboration with the company or not. So bigger companies always go for, hey, which certificate authority are you connected to? If they are that specific about the security, they should. So good for use among company employees. So internal CA is just of no value outside, right? It's internal, that's it. So not reliable for public or outside the company use. External CA good for public use for secure access and download of resources or financial transactions, definitely. PayPal. So how do we know which website is using what certificate? Any idea? In the yeah. So if I go to Internet Explorer, Internet Explorer, not Edge, and it's HTTP, so no good. Maybe I go to PayPal, also HTTP. Oh, now it's green, so it's HTTPS. So where do I go? So maybe we can go to Internet Options, and
there's another lock thing there by
yeah, there's a lock here, and then View Certificates. So PayPal's okay, and then go for version. Shaw semantic class 3 EV SSL certificate, and then exactly what we're about to do. So we're gonna go for thumbprint number, and we're gonna go for, you know, all this. So yes, we can. Okay, also one more thing, Google, enter. It's already HTTPS. Okay, so today's task is convert one intranet page from HTTP to HTTPS, and then also issue certificates to users and computers and auto enroll them. So that's how we're gonna know the internals of how certificates work. So when when we used to go to Hotmail, just this page only. So it used to be HTTP only. When we log in only, then it would just go for HTTPS. Now it's, you know, by default it's HTTPS. So we're gonna just try to know more about this. And whoa, enough news. Reliable in public. Examples are VeriSign, certificates, GoDaddy. In fact, DigiCert is a big name, so DigiCert. Okay. So, but what is public key and private key? There's a discussion for that, and this is gonna go. This is the same for 2012 or 2016 or public key and private key. It's okay. So, well, this is just long words, but this diagram. Let me see if we get it. User 1 has published in AD. So this is after we have installed ADCS or Active Directory Certificate Services. What happens is, okay, before even starting that, let me just draw a diagram for that, and that will be much easier, I guess. So the basic concept with Analogy is that if from one side, so there are okay, you know what, I need people. Seriously, I should have gone for Visio for that. People. Okay, seriously, bad. Oh, not very, very bad. Sorry, let's just go for Visio. It's a very easy concept. Once you understand that, it's all like understandable. Okay, there's people. So if we have one person who wants, and the other person wants to send message to this person, so this person has a lock. Okay, I'm sure that I will get a drawing for a lock. Oh, there you go. So lock. And then I need a drawing for the box. I mean, you'll get it. I'm doing certain new things today, and you must be thinking, hey, obviously he doesn't have a coffee today. Okay, so and the box. Don't give me ridiculous things. Okay. Oh yeah, close box and open box. Yeah, need both. So the thing is that one person wants to send securely a message to another person, and this person needs the message to be sent, and he wants that only this person should open that. So this person or send any parcel, right? So this person packs a parcel and puts inside a box and locks it. The only thing is that this lock, there has to be key for this lock, right? In fact, sorry guys, need a key as well, because this concept is so simple that's gonna just explain you PKI. Wow. Woohoo. Key. Okay. So there's a key, there's a lock. This guy is trying to send a parcel to this guy. Now this guy says that, hey, you can securely, this guy A says that you can securely send a this package to me, and the guy B says how. So guy A says, I'm going to send you the lock. The guy B says the lock, So what's the lock? Now we're okay. So the lock, copy of the lock I'm gonna send you, and you can just send me this box and lock it with this lock. The good thing is I'm just sending you the lock, I'm not sending you the key. I have that key. I have the key to open this lock. Once you lock this box, you yourself cannot open it now, right? So that is called encryption. Encrypt it and send the message. So the box is sent to this, but the box was locked or encrypted by this lock, and this lock was sent by this guy. Hey, I'm sending you a lock, and the key for this lock is only with me. So this is called private key, right? In encryption terms, in PKI terms, there is a public key to lock a message. The person who wants to send a message will lock the message or encrypt the message with the public key of this guy. And when the message is sent, this user has the private key, and this key is only with this user. So the lock was sent already to that user, but the key was not sent. Keys again only with this guy, right? So the user, what can this user do? It can only lock. Once it locks, it cannot even open itself. So when the box goes there, this user only has the key to this lock. So it opens that box and reads the message. So this means that there is a when they say there's a public key and a private key, so public key is actually this lock, is the analogy is the lock that this guy sends. Public key, hey, you all have my public key, you want to send me a message, encrypt that message with the public key I sent you all. You can only encrypt a message or lock a message by my public key, and then when you send that message to me, only I can decrypt it. Why? Because I have the private key to decrypt that. Nobody, I never gave private key to anyone. I only gave the public key, or I only gave the locks to everyone. I never provided the key to anyone, right? So only I have the key to all those locks I sent to everyone. So this is the analogy that we can use for Active Directory as well. And if now I compare it with the Active Directory, so there is this computer and there is this computer. You're sending a message with the public key and of this user. So user B is sending a message and encrypting the message with the public key of user A, and that message then goes to user 1, user A, and then the user A decrypts that message with his own private key. So every user has a public key which is available to everyone, and every user has a private key which is just available to that user. So how does these users get a public key for this user? Where do they access? Where do they go and access this? So in Active Directory, this user is part of the same Active Directory that this user is part of, right? So Active Directory provides the public key and private key for both users, for every user in the environment, right? So the user who is sending the message or trying to access the file in the Active Directory domain, sending a message, the user will automatically in the background use the public key to encrypt that message. And when the message reaches user A here, this user can only decrypt this message because this user has a private key which can decrypt this message, and this user will grab the private key from the same Active Directory that this user got the public key from. So can anyone explain in your own words? So I'm going to try that after 1 hour as well, because then we're going to be deploying this. Now let's just go to the definitions a little, and then I'm going to come back here again. So this is So the private key is a key that is known only to its owner, while the public key can be made known and available to other entities on the network. Okay, the two keys are different but complementary in function. For example, a user's public key can be published within a certificate in a folder, so that it is accessible to all other people in the organization. That's how they get the public key, right? So if they have a copy of the certificate, they have the public key, or they can encrypt a message which only that user can decrypt, right? The sender of a message can retrieve the user's certificate. The sender, so I am the user B, I'm sending the message, can retrieve the user's certificate from Active Directory, right? Both have the same source, Active Directory. So Active Directory services obtain the public key from the certificate and then encrypt the message by using the recipient's public key. Information that is encrypted with the public key can be decrypted only by using the corresponding private key of the set, which remains with its owner, the recipient of the message, right? So can you explain me now in your own words?
I guess basically, like in one folder, there's like all these boxes that belong to all the users, like user A, B, C, and so it's like that's public, and the user from one side, like they have the key, so user A has a key that's private to himself. So if user B wants to send a package to him, he just goes to that folder, grabs the box for user A, and he just like puts whatever he wants and then ships it to user A, and he could unlock it because that box belongs to him. So he has
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the folder with all the boxes, it could be like all the boxes for every single user in Active Directory.
Exactly.
If he wants to access, just grab that box and ship. If it goes to Paul, just grab the box from Paul and just put the stuff in there and send it over. And only Paul can open it.
Only Paul can has the key to open that, and the lock is with the Active Directory.
Yeah.
Just grab the lock and lock it. Hey, I encrypted it. That's it. Now I'm sending you. I know you have the key, and also I don't have the key. And the hacker who's gonna hack also doesn't have the key, of course. If I have the key and you have the key, then it's not that secure, right? So if the key is with just the owner, but the owner tells you, hey, I can let you just encrypt it, or I can let you lock it. So after you send it, that's it. You know the key is only with the owner, right? There is another way. The key is with both of the guys, sender and the receiver. So you still have 2 points here that the sender could also open. So it's less secure than you have the opening key or the decryption certificate only with the user who's receiving it, right, or the owner. So yeah, we have enough time to discuss that, and we're gonna keep repeating that because it's not that easy concept. So what is PKI, public key infrastructure, or how do you, so suppose it's an interview question. So can you just tell us, oh yeah, we have security firm, we are very, we're doing your background checks as well, and we are doing for all candidates actually, and we really are sensitive in security. So can you tell me what is PKI? Because you're going to be securing our $1 billion servers or $1 million, okay. So how does PKI basically work if one user is trying to send something? Can you explain in your own words? If that's an interview. Try it. You could just read the whole thing.
I guess once the user is part of the network and authenticated in
Yeah.
Active Directory, if I try to access any of the resources, this would be key from Active Directory.
Yep. So either this, or if the user is trying to send a message, there is MS Exchange as well.
Right.
So encryption is happening in the background actually. So suppose you did not install Active Directory certificate services, and there is Exchange server. So you open an email, write an email to George, and click send. The email goes to George. George opens the email and reads it. After that, you install the Active Directory certificate services now. Again, you're opening an email, writing the name of George, click send. The email is received by George. After what we have implemented the certificate services, George opens the email and he can still open. No change. But certificate services in the background are encrypting and decrypting for any possible hackers. If you're a technical person, you would know that okay, there's certificate services in the background now, and there's a certificate attached to this email now. There's an encryption done with this email. Overall, the speed of the email, the opening of the email is a little longer now because encryption decryption is going on now. But end user will not know. It's a full house today.
Yes, it's a full house. So one question. And the systems are students are using the systems?
Yeah, he's using that only.
Because the last class we received, the systems were just shuffled here and there. Tables were taken, even from the first class we also asked from the other one, from the last class. So we were just wondering what kind of requirement is that it has to be like it was literally we rearranged it. The cables
So
were
yeah, it
removed,
was not us.
the cables
Definitely.
were removed from the switch
Maybe it
board.
was A plus. You know, we call it A plus when A plus class comes in. Oh, let's check the main board. Oh, let's check the memory.
Plus
Doesn't happen here. No, in Mississauga it used to happen that
they used to
A plus the PCs.
I was just wondering, and that's why we just put.
Please do not unplug and remove the systems. Yeah, those who did it, and there's camera. You should say that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Oh, there's no camera
Just
here.
wanted to make sure that.
Yeah. Nope.
I'll check it for her. Oh, she just didn't.
Oh, thanks. So for me as well.
Lavan is.
Thanks.
Lavan is not here. Okay. Isn't here. So, anyways, I hope by
Java.
the next who's due by next Saturday. Please clear the dues. Now, sure. I don't mind.
Okay. Wow. So I'm just gonna wait. Oh, I was recording all this time, but yeah, we can just one. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about public key and private key because that's the one of the major concepts that we need to clarify, and that's the thing that we are talking about. User 1 has published an ADCS certificate which has public. It's not user 1 who published manually something. When a user is created, and if the ADCS is added already, the certificate has been assigned published for all the users of Active Directory, right? So user 2 wants to send a message to user 1, and then user 2 accesses the published certificate of user 1, which has the public key of user 1, and then user 2 encrypts the message that is meant for user 1 with the help of user 1's public key, which is a lock in analogy. User 1 receives the encrypted message from user 2 and decrypts it with the help of his private key. Now user 2 sends the message to user 3, but user 3 is unable to encrypt this message, decrypt this message. So user 2 then accesses the public key of user 3 from the certificate that has been published in AD by user 3, or for user 3 it was published, and encrypts that. So the thing is that user 2 does not have to manually access the Active Directory. Everything is happening in the background. Once you have implemented Active Directory certificate services, as long as you are in communication, you can ping the domain controller. You are using this service. You can use that service, right? As long as you're in communication with your environment. So in the background, you're using that after the deployment of ADCS. So yes, this is certificate uses signatures, so code signing, VB-square PowerShell to write a code that would establish that this certificate has not been modified or compromised. You can cross-check the certificates that way. Sign drivers, there are sign drivers. You must have seen this, right? When you're installing a driver for some device, NVIDIA display card or some, so there are sign drivers. Maybe you lost the driver and you cannot find the drivers, so you go for some universal driver or some unsigned drivers, which are just from some unreliable source, but they also do some of the work, or they really make the hardware work perfectly. So there are signed drivers and unsigned drivers. Sometimes it used to come before the message that okay, the drivers you're installing are not signed from Microsoft, so Microsoft did not test that, right?
I think Windows 20, Server 2012, if you have any other devices connected, you have to have signed drivers.
Exactly. And what do you mean by signed drivers?
I guess approved drivers.
Approved from who? Microsoft, exactly. Which means what actually? Microsoft must have tested and saw all the security and all the other compatibility issues, and then approved it and signed it. Yes, this NVIDIA will work with all Windows, and this hardware will work with all Windows. So definitely signed drivers are also require that certificates. So email, encrypted emails are sent and can be decrypted only if the other side has the public certificate. There is a very famous tool for emails. Other than Exchange is of course mean for used for delivery, but there's a tool to secure emails, third-party tool, very famous. That executives, directors all use that. Anyone knows that name? It's PGP. So if directors would, their recommendation is always there. PGP is mainly used as in Exchange already is encrypting everything, but PGP is when you're sending emails, either if you don't have much security, you don't trust any other security. Exchange, everyone is using that, although it's very good encryption, but PGP is a separate tool, and you must have that, and the receiver must have that too, of course. If they both have PGP and you're sending, so it's another third-party tool, and it's expensive actually. So it's just some third-party tool. Hey, also install PGP. Although we have our encryptions, but I'm just gonna make sure we're using this encryption as well. So it's like another layer of security or separate way you can just encrypt that, and plus all the other ways. So maybe a hacker has just hacked your email, and the hacker has the tools to decrypt any of the Exchange related encrypted emails. Instead, when you're using PGP, that would be like okay, more in depth, more higher encryption is there. So it's gonna be you can just use third-party tools. Internet uses HTTPS, SSL, secure socket layer, of course. We're going to use that now. Encryption, network data, IPsec, EFS, encryption file system, IPsec, internet protocol security. So other uses of certificate are these local self-signed certificates. We're going to talk about more right now. Wireless data is encrypted, but certificate uses make it more secure. So wireless devices also uses certificate, can use certificate. Smart card has heavily encrypted certificate that authenticates a smart card. Okay. Anyone use smart card? You've seen one? Smart card, just like in laptop, just like you put SD, small chip. For suppose you have 32 GB more space you need, so you put a card, SD card there, right? So smart card is just like that. So but it's a bit bigger card, and since we have internet, so we can just directly see that smart card for laptops. Suppose it's for laptops. Whoa, that's not very smart, but okay. Yeah, so it's bigger. Yeah, that is an example for smart card. Okay, still could not get the picture correctly, but anyway, we get the idea. It's a card and it's smart. So yeah, see this, and so PC card swap smart. But what it does when you put it just authenticates. There's a certificate inside that smart card, or that's heavily encrypted. So it is through the internet. All the authentication encryption is checked, cross-checked from the company servers to the smart card, and then all the data is detected from the smart card, and that's how we get to, the user is authenticated by just putting the smart card there. So you don't have to use the certificate, but definitely certificate is a software. In fact, once I wanted to connect to my company. Oh, I said that many times, but the thing is that if you just have certificate and a VPN software, so I put that in my other computer, which was really infected with viruses. But it was an emergency, so I just put the certificate and a VPN software there. I thought there will be some hardware detected, there will be some antivirus detected, and I will be disconnected, but nothing happened. As soon as I put the certificate, I was connected.
Right.
So it's like it worked like a smart card. Wow. With any machine. That was really unsecure. Or secure, maybe. I still needed a certificate, right? Or anyone can have a certificate, but there was a password, username, password I also knew. So that was the second wave of security, level of security. So there is smart card thingy. Okay, PKI, large organization, design 3-tier, small to medium size organization, design single tier or multi-tier. Now we need to understand the design, and that's where I was saying that, hey, you must have a standalone without connection to Active Directory. One certificate server or authority server should be standalone. So what do I mean by that? So what happens is you must have a root certificate. You need to create a certificate from that root CA, and then you have to export that certificate from root CA and import it into another certificate authority. So what's going on here? You have to create a certificate from a root CA, then you have to shut down the root CA. Root CA must not be even connected to the network. Root CA must not be member of the domain, must not be connected to the network. It should be a totally standalone machine, and install the certificate services software there, create a certificate with all the encryption and everything, export it to another server, which is enterprise CA, which means it is connected to Active Directory, right? Then shut down the root CA server, then take that server and put it in some other site and lock that. That's the general practice. And when it used to be physical servers, now create a root CA in virtual machine, then install a root CA in virtual machine member server, create that certificate for maybe 10 years, 5 years, and export it to the enterprise CA, which is connected to Active Directory. Enterprise CAs are connected to Active Directory. They're going to start issue the certificate. But the root CA, since it's a virtual machine, shut it down, copy that folder, burn that folder to DVDs, 3 DVDs, 1 DVD to New York, 1 DVD to Brazil, 1 DVD to South Africa, and in a very, very safe environment with 4 jets going beside that plane, Air Force One kind of thing. But the thing is, you get the security mechanism here. Root CA must be shut down and disconnected not permanently, until you want to create another certificate from that. The root CA, once creating a certificate, has to be removed for security measures. What security measures are we talking about here? So hackers can attack a root CA. Suppose root CA you did not disconnect from the network. Maybe it's even connected to the network. Wow. And it is, so hackers attack that. Hackers create a certificate with some changes. So now maybe it's redirecting, or it's saying or it's allowing some other users which are not supposed to connect to the network to communicate, to be authenticated properly, to connect to the network, and they would no longer be unauthorized users. You can make any kind of hampering or changes in the certificate. After that, this means the certificate has been changed, and you have to install the root CA again, and then if there were subordinate CAs, you have to reinstall them as well, and issue revoke all the current certificates, and then issue new certificates if your root CA has been hacked. So root CA, standalone server, disconnected from any network, domain, install certificate services, create a root CA, create one certificate, export that certificate file to another server, then shut it down, because then it should not be hacked. And once the suppose the second server was hacked and hackers made some changes and started still issuing the certificate which has some wrong information now, so you realize at a certain time, so you actually revoke all the certificates, cancel all the certificates. As soon as you revoke, everyone connecting from outside will be disconnected or will be not allowed to connect anymore, right? So, and then you will so suppose this is compromised and hacked, so you revoke all the certificates and you stop issuing the certificate, you remove the CA or the certificate authority or ADCS service or role, and then you start the root CA again, create a new certificate and export the new certificate and import it to this certificate authority again, then shut down the root CA again, change the password and put it away somewhere safe. So the mechanism, do you understand the mechanism here now? That root CA once exported is not required to further work. That's it. Your job was to give us that certificate. On the basis of that certificate, we're going to create copies and give the exact copies to the all the servers, and users will get that certificate automatically, and they will be authenticated, or cross authentication will take place between the server and the users to access the services. And if that certificates at certain point is certificate authority is compromised, you still have a safe haven, you still have a safe is root CA from which you can create another certificate, right? So this is how root CAs work. In case of VeriSign or DigiCert or GoDaddy, they have their own mechanism. I mean, they just have to issue certificate. Securing their root CA is their responsibility, right? But when we are creating now our Active Directory certificate services, we're gonna just install the enterprise CA. But if you are given that task, then you have to start a machine, a server which is not connected to domain and not connected to even network, and export, okay, connected to the network, or maybe just put USB device, install that certificate, create that certificate, and then export it to USB and put it to the other one. So there should not be any hacker attack on the root CA. It should be shut down until you need it next. That's all, right? So if the hackers attacked on this level, all the certificates issued from here to anyone would be revoked, and the root CA would just issue the certificate to this again, and this will subordinate CA will issue the certificates again to these guys. Same case here. If the third level issuing certificate authority servers, if they are hacked, suppose this is VPN server, this is another server, this is another server, smart card server, web server. So if this is hacked, of course this can issue the certificate, right? Whichever is not hacked, obviously. So that's why there can be 3-tiered. So if any one level is compromised, the previous level can issue a certificate. This guy is not up and running. Shouldn't be, never be, right? So root certificate authority, intermediate, and issuing certificate. These are the issuing one. So in big environments, if you have internal root CA infrastructure, this is the one that is actually issuing. This is issuing to the certificate authorities. Just a second level of defense, we can say that at least this is not available. So we understand that, right?
I have a question. So if you have a new, after you create the root CA and then you issue this, then you shut it down. Then when you add like new users, after you've done that, right? You add new, like say 10 new users. So the new issuing authority would be the ones at the bottom, right?
Yeah, they will be issuing the certificate. And in our case, we're gonna have just one enterprise CA, and small and medium size PKI design single CA server, which can be a standalone CA or an enterprise CA, and it can be an issuing authority as well. So not only is that it's a enterprise CA, so root certificate authority server as well as issuing authority. It's a one-man show, of course, but you have to be careful, and that's why it's internally used, right? So standalone versus enterprise CA, there are some new terminology here. Standalone is no Active Directory involved there, manual cert request, Certificates has to be requested manually. Provide info about the user, machine, and admin has to be processed. No certificate templates. We're gonna now see what are templates. Manually install certificates in user's trusted root. Design would be, so we're gonna see that in the user's trusted root, you have to do everything manually if it is standalone. Design would be a root CA and subordinate CA. Enterprise Active Directory required. Auto-enrollment, so automatically for large amount of users and computers you can deploy that. Smart card authentication is available here. Certificates and revocation of certs info will be published to Active Directory. So lots of the tasks are handed over to Active Directory. Type 2 plus 3 templates. This just means that certificates are given a lot of more information there to put there, check this assessment, check this, check that, check this, check that. So the latest templates just mean that more security measures have been taken for the certificate. Autofilled request, most data to be provided is already known by Active Directory. So Active Directory handles lots of complicated tasks for you if you're deploying enterprise CA, but still the root CA has to be standalone. Should be. First convert. So yeah, now our lab, we're gonna convert our intranet URL from HTTP to HTTPS. That will tell us, oh, that's how we can so we have our company site or URL of any type. How do we convert from HTTP to HTTPS and enable port 443 for that, or bind it to port 443, right? Make it an SSL, secure socket layer protected. So we're gonna do that, and hands-on time. Then client-side testing, GPU for there's a special command for updating the certificates as well. This is called certutil -pulse, and shutdowns. Well, that's just shutdown. But certutil -pulse is the command to do that. This error was coming, and the lab steps to avoid it are in next slide. Okay, if this error comes, we're gonna talk about that. What is EFS? Anyone knows that? Encryption file system. Where is it available? So if I go to this area or any server and go to C drive, suppose this is a folder, WSUS is created there already, properties, advanced. So there is encryption, encrypt contents to secure data. Is it clear? Oops. Encrypt contents to secure data. So this is available for any folder you create that you can actually encrypt that data. So what is the 153 megabyte advanced encrypt? Okay, apply. Any changes to this folder, subfolders and files? Yeah, encrypt the whole thing. You will need to provide administrator. Yeah, I'm the administrator. Oh, seriously? Enter recurred blah, blah, blah. So you're not accepting that my authority. I order thee. Okay, when you encrypt that, it turns green. This means it's encrypted now. True or false? Encryption saves the file from being deleted. No? Encryption, you encrypt a folder and you cannot delete the file as well. You can delete the file?
Yeah.
Okay, but what you cannot do?
Read the file.
The data.
Yeah.
The data is turned into rubbish. So, but EFS is offering the ability to encrypt files and folders. BitLocker offers the ability to encrypt the whole drive. The difference is here. And so any file anywhere, report viewer, properties, again advanced, encrypt, okay, apply, encrypt the file and its parent folder, encrypt the file only, suppose, and okay, it's also green now. So well, the main thing to do here would be any document with writing inside you can encrypt that. So the user, I am the user, logged in user who encrypted it, log off from there, log in from another user and try to open that document, you won't be able to open that document. And if you're able to open, you won't be able to understand the data inside. So it's like that. If the user who's logged in has encrypted, the EFS certificate is provided to that person. EFS or encryption file system. Also, there is built-in certificate. We haven't even installed the certificate authority yet, but there are some built-in security features like EFS, which can still encrypt your files and folders inside your any hard drive in your Windows 2008, 2012, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. You can encrypt anything, but that user will only decrypt that. So suppose you logged off from that user, then after 3 months you really needed that file, and you discovered that that user account from which you encrypted actually was deleted by somebody. Your file is gone unless you have some genius way to decrypt it. If you lost that user account, that's it, gone. Though it's risky thing. Higher management sometimes say, hey, our file servers has 10,000 or 100,000 files. Do you encrypt them all? And administrators just say, no way, we're not doing that. Yes, you need security. We can encrypt your folder, but not everything, because well, unless you're very careful and you have that recovery account there in Active Directory, you can encrypt that, right? So let's start installing that ADCS. So since it's ADCS, so of course on the domain controller, I'm just gonna start this dashboard and go to add roles and features. The top role or the first role is Active Directory Certificate Services itself. So add roles and features, next until we reach to the roles. There it is, and this is Active Directory Certificate Services. Let's just select that and pops up the features window. Let's just add all the features. So we just selected the role, the top one, Active Directory Certificate Services, and next. Nothing in features because it's already selected. Next. So it just says that it will work with NAP, Network Access Protection. We did that before, right? It checks the health of the machine. So it also requires certificates if you want to put more security. IPsec protocol requires certificate. EFS, encrypting file system, which I just showed you, and smart card login, everything requires certificates. So when you're installing certificate authority, it will provide that certificate infrastructure. Otherwise, EFS is working without that as well, but it's just using its self-signed certificate. Next. Now here are all the other areas: certificate authority, certificate enrollment policy web service, certificate enrollment web service. So first of all, certificate authority itself, then certificate enrollment policy web service enables users and computers to obtain certificate enrollment policy information even when the computer is not a member of a domain, or if a domain joined computer is temporarily outside the security boundary of the corporate network. The certificate enrollment policy works with the certificate enrollment web service. The thing is that if you're distracted, if you're not, if you took the laptop outside of your domain and you're no longer having authentication from the domain or Active Directory, or you're totally in the work group, but you're still connected to the network at least, but you're not part of the domain, you can still get the certificate from the Active Directory Certificate Services. So this, but not automatically, it has to be manual process. And web service. So the certificate enrollment web service enables users and computers to enroll for and renew certificates even when the computer is not joined to the domain, same criteria, or is temporarily out of the boundary. The certificate enrollment works together with the certificate enrollment policy web service. They just both work together, do the same thing. When one actually hosts the service, other is offering that certificate to non-joined. So it's policy based, whatever policy you create. Oh, if it is work group, just do it. If it's a work group laptop, then use this certificate. If it's a work group desktop, or if it's a work group server, work group but server. So servers are also not joined. Also there are, well, this is coming also, certificate authority web enrollment. So that's going to offer retrieve certificate revocation list. or renew. Request, renew, and revoke. Wow, 3 R's. And also enroll smart card certificate. So request a certificate, this is required. Renew a certificate, web enrollment is required. Revoke a certificate, web enrollment, and also smart card. There's so much R that I'm like stuttering now. Okay, this is interesting. Device enrollment, it works with the network device enrollment, makes it possible to issue manage for routers and switches. So that's like Microsoft. So if Cisco or Huawei or any other Juniper routers are there and they need to use certificate, and Microsoft environment is always there. Suppose you already are using Active Directory certificate services for your internal security, so you can just put that there as well. So the data coming from the router or the packets coming from the router are also encrypted at least. Or authentication, if not encryption. Authentication is there, that second layer of authentication, that if this traffic is coming with this certificate, let them through, otherwise block them there.
Would this include printers as well? Printers?
Printers, definitely. The jobs can be encrypted and authenticated as well. Otherwise, they won't be sent to the print job. Online responder, make certificate revocation checking data accessible to clients in complex network environment. What is this? So suppose you're outside and your certificate has to be checked. You have to log into the network and somehow the CRIL is not available. What was CRIL? Certificate Revocation List, CRL, CRIL, right? And there's a car here. Yeah. Okay. So hey, we're all part of it, so we're gonna share the car. Come on. Yeah, you're gonna just let us drive. Okay, that was sharing. My promise to you. So now this is your stop. No, it's my car. Anyway, so yeah, it is just that online responder. So suppose you're in some remote location and you got a certificate from VeriSign or DigiCert. They always, I suppose, so you got that from, you were in Canada and then you went for, Europe, London, and so of course it's a big company, it's a global company, so they must have their data center in Europe as well. So there will be many hosting hosting companies that would have one server, or at least they will be offering this service, or DigiCert would have purchased one server. Hey, any regional CRL requests, suppose our guy from Canada went to London, Europe, England, London, so the DigiCert revocation list checker site will be placed in maybe Frankfurt. There is a data center in Frankfurt, and DigiCert have also placed a CRL hosting server there as well. So why CRL is very compulsory. Whenever you're connecting from anywhere to your infrastructure, your certificate will have to go through CRL. Why? If you're revoked or not. Revocation can happen anytime, right? So it has to go through CRL. So wherever you're connecting from, you have to go through a CRL. And that's why online responder, or if it's complex environment, you have your regional certificate, and if you're a global CA, you have to have your customers are around the globe, right? They're coming from anywhere to anywhere. So this means you must have your servers in all major parts of the world. So that's why CRL has to be there in that region, should be there in the region where the user is now connecting to his or her network. So anyway, we get to know some information about that, but what we are using is certificate authority. Web service, yeah. I'm gonna click that. We don't have routers now, so no, it's not the case. And let's just click all four. We're gonna be using mostly actually certificate authority, but we still can do work with others as well, or at least get to see the features. So I'm just leaving this one alone, and I'm selecting all rest of the 5. So network device enrollment we cannot do, so all the other just select them. Next. Yeah, restart if it requires, press yes, install. But this is just, the basics. Now we're going to configure the whole certificate authority. So that will require lots of terminology will come now. This is one of those labs that might take the whole day, but it's mucho importante. And then there is ADRMS, Rights Management Server. So all the documents are there. You can just block the printing, block the save as, block the save, block any portion of the, that software.
So we have some issues. Well, nobody ever complained about it, but I found that every time we log on to the web page of our printers,
Okay.
you always see a certificate error.
Oh,
So
wow. Somebody did deploy certificate, self-signed certificate maybe,
yeah, probably and they did.
for printing page.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to secure that. We don't use that, but if it is there, just put that certificate. If it's self-signed, just remove it. But anyway, if maybe it's a software, so it's from the vendor software.
Right.
Is that HP or which printer is that?
Xerox,
Xerox. So they must have had set up their own page.
probably.
So
Every time you log on to the, they have their web page. So you log on to the printer's web page,
oh yeah.
and we always get a certificate error. But I tried to do a self-signed certificate,
Okay.
but it still didn't work.
And did you try to download that certificate to your particular laptop or machine or desktop? And it still did not go away.
It still keeps showing expired.
Oh, okay.
Expiry date on it.
That is expired, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we tried to recreate it. But
Mhm.
even if it expired, they recreate it. It'll still show expired.
well, you just need to create a new one with the expiration date again mentioned, which should be whichever date you want. If you were able to put the date 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, then it's okay. If you're not able to, they don't offer that when it should expire, then it's not under your control. So you're not able to put a date there.
No.
Oh,
Well, we were able to put the date, but it wasn't taking the
Oh.
date. It was keeping the old expiry date.
oh, then they have control over that. They have.
Yeah.
That have a 100 number.
You have that.
Yeah, you guys have a contract with them?
Yeah.
Oh, then
Then you should be able to call them and maybe do like software stuff with the contract.
Right. Like I never really pursued because I didn't really think it was a big deal because everything
Yeah.
seemed to be working.
it's just that
Just
that
admin-
error.
Yeah,
Oh.
administration.
Yeah.
We use Deply.
Okay.
Doesn't give us that. We use Xerox.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just go on the web page and type in the IP address and go through there and look at the page counts and whatever. Sometimes Xerox
Is
doesn't
it-
know what.
HTTPS.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's still a local site, right?
Yeah.
You cannot access from internet.
Or it's good access to the web, not through like web page, like so the printers in London or.
Yeah.
but just some,
Yeah,
or
it's a
just
local
not-
link.
Just in our building.
Yeah. It's not like Xerox.com then slash this
No,
that. Yeah.
It's like
It's
our-
local.
Our subnet.
Oh, okay.
It's in our subnet. So
Oh.
we can that.
Intranet. Okay. So
So Xerox has secure printing function.
oh, okay.
You do, like they use their LDAP.
Oh.
They grab the LDAP from the Active
Active Directory,
They
yeah.
have authentication and you can do like FOB key authentication.
Oh, nice.
So you can you have like these FOB keys that you can tap on. They have readers that you can tap it and they'll authenticate. They'll sign you on with your Windows credentials and you
That's
just
so
go through there.
good.
Just go release your documents, whatever you want to release.
Wow.
So it's only like send the print job, you go to any machine and you pick it up.
Oh,
So
nice.
any printers on that floor that have
Oh,
FOB.
as long as you.
If like somebody's already busy like printing stuff, just walk to the next one and tap it and you log in and it's
Excellent. Yeah, that's good.
because of confidentiality.
Yeah.
They also have the pin functionality too, where you could like save things authentication, but through like
Okay.
like send like a Word document, say file print here,
Uh-huh.
and the very first time you do it,
So what we were doing is we were installing the ADCS. Actually, it is installed. So we're just going to further configure it. ADCS on the left side is now shown. So let's just go to the yellow triangle. Activity certificate services is there. You following? Anyway? Okay. So far so good. So far so bad. So good. Okay. So now we have. So I've just clicked the yellow triangle and went for that. Further configuration of ADCS. I hope you guys are there as well. So to install, specify credentials to configure role services. Standalone certificate authority, we selected all those, so that's all going to be installed. Let's just click next. Now these are still the checkboxes it's offering what we selected back there in the previous wizard. So even now we can just select only one, or we can just go for all of them just to see what services there are. But what it says here, when we are selecting the fourth one, it's giving an error. CA and the certificate authority and the certificate enrollment web service cannot be installed on this computer simultaneously. So complete its wizard with one of the features and then come back. We ain't coming back now. I mean, we're not using it anyway. So either you use this or that. But anyway, we'll be more interested in these three. Certification authority, web enrollment, and an online responder. So let's just click next. Now of course we know that we need to have Active Directory certificate authority, but we also know that standalone, if in production environment, we would just go first for standalone for best practices and then install it and issue a certificate and then shut it down, right? So it should be actually a virtual machine. Even in production environment, it should be a virtual machine that is issuing the first certificate, and then you have to secure it. So just shut down that virtual machine, copy that somewhere, the folder, and keep it shut. So anyway, this is just our enterprise with Active Directory, and that's going to be the root issuing authority as well. So we're just going to select enterprise CA and next. Now it is the root CA or the subordinate CA. Obviously it's the root CA. It's the first one, right? Next, and it's going to create that private first key that's going to be used to decrypt this certificate and offer this service to all. So use this option if you do not have a private key or want to create a new private key. Well, it's a new private key because it's the first one we're creating. Now this is the service. This is where you can go in depth with how strong the certificate must be. So the key length is 2048 characters, and it could be 4096 characters as well. The thing is, it's just when we talk about key length, is the notepad or is the text file that has long alphanumeric, unreadable, ununderstandable characters, right? So if they are longer key length, it will take longer time to open or encrypt or decrypt. With the key, you are going to decrypt it, so it's going to take longer time. Also select the hash algorithm for signing certificates issued by this CA. So there's SHA-1, SHA-512, SHA-384, SHA-256. These are the level of hash algorithm. So what is hash? Anyone knows? Let's just talk about a little about hash as well. I have diagrams here. Oh, missing that. So hash is that. Oh, I think it's will be better here. So if a user is sending the information, so the user writes some hello, how are you, and there will be a software or a security software that's going to create a hash against the letters used here, the distance used here, it's going to check and create a hash. And what's a hash? It's just some exactly like that. So it's exactly some alphanumeric long note. This is not the key we're talking about. This is hash created against hello, how are you. Now the message has been sent to the other side. When it reaches, if it is still hello, how are you, then so the other side, the hash will be again created for this sentence, and the hash must be exactly the same set of alphanumeric characters. If this hello, how are you has been changed to hello, how are you and exclamation mark, the hash will be different, a little different now, right? If the application there it has received the hash that was created here, and it compares this hash with the it creates the hash as well on the destination, and if both hashes are different, it's going to say that this data has been tampered with, hacked with, it's not secure anymore. So hashing just means that cross-checking the integrity of your data, right? So if the data has been tampered with, the hash will be different, otherwise it will be the same, and the application will just quickly read that, the whole thing, and see the structure of the words and everything and create that hash. It has to be exactly the same amount. The application will detect that, and the same amount of and same places the alphanumeric characters are there, right? Hash clear, right? So this is how complicated you want the hash algorithm to be. We need to do our homework when we are creating this. We need to really dig down the books and see the videos, and of course everyone hates the books, but not everyone, me especially. So but you need to go through those articles and see if you go for the strongest SHA-512 hash algorithm. This means that alphanumeric character I created, it could be from this to this. This means computing involved now is more, it's much more secure, but you're at the cost of performance. So it's up to you, right? And it's a payload, not the pay. Yeah, exactly. It's the payload as well as the hashing everything at the destination as on the source, from the source. So this means that performance overall, it's not that bad. But if it's a large data, don't do that. If it's a huge data coming and going, but if it's a military institute or if it's a military organization, definitely they would want to go. Governments would try to do that, and they don't care about, they have huge computing as well. I mean, they can invest in anything, right? They can have supercomputers to do that. So they would just go for that. Otherwise, normal companies, they would just stick to SHA-1 is okay, or maybe SHA-256 right above. Or if you go down, they will all show you different abilities, extra features, but the basic hash algorithm, we understand the concept. Cryptographic provider as well are there, and most of them are showing Microsoft. It's just key storage provider are there, and this is also going to just make the certificate stronger. We can just go for crypto. So what is cryptographic provider? Cryptographic provider. Although I have it on my forum, I don't know why I'm coming here. So it's a software library that implements the Microsoft Crypto API. CSPs implement encoding and decoding functions, which computer application programs may use, for example, to implement strong user authentication or for secure email, right? So it's just encoding and decoding and for stronger authentication. That's cryptographic. So the higher the cryptography, again, payload, as you said, exactly, and again the computing power, right? So that's why they say your first certificate is where you're going to do your homework really good, and your planning has to be very good. That you're using certificate for VPN services, you're going to be using for Exchange service maybe not Exchange, because okay, Exchange is that your emails are going anywhere, and you're receiving emails from anywhere as well. So your certificate has to be coming from outside, verisign.com, you did DigiCert, or So, but this is internal certificate. So even in DigiCert or VeriSign, when you're applying for a certificate, they might ask this, that how strong you want it to be. So that's where you're going to be deciding, okay, this is how strong I want, and there will be a different, level of financial requirements. So also there is another layer of security. Allow administrator interaction when the private key is accessed by the CA. Whenever the certificate is issued or reissued, there will be just administrator privileges or credentials asked that, okay, are you the guy who's supposed to issue the certificate again? Maybe it was compromised, or you just had it for 1 year just to do a test run, and then now you're reissuing for 5 years now. So it will be administrator credentials asked. So we're just going to leave it like that and all. But we get to understand that this is just to create a very strong certificate, right? Next. Now it's going to go for the name. We can change the name, but it's also okay. Sysnet domain DC01. It's okay. So we leave it to default and next. We can go for 5 years, we can go for 1 year, even for 1 day, weeks, months, years. It's any amount of time. If it's the root certificate, we may go for longer time, right? Because we're gonna just then shut it down, and there will be another server that's going to be actually issuing the certificate. So this could be 5 years or 10 years. But nowadays, in older time, yes, it could be 10 years, even 20 years. But nowadays technology is changing so fast, maybe the security with which this certificate was created might be old in next 1 year or 6 months even. And somebody might have just figured out the way to decrypt this easily. So you might want to give nowadays. But this is still an administrative headache that you're going to be. So after 1 year, you have to still start that machine again and issue the certificate again, and all the people have to renew that as well, or you have to reissue or make sure that it's a certificate issue. For VPN, we in previous company we used to have a big process: approve, 3 days, 2 days, sign a letter, and then we get a VPN certificate. Of course, it's so the bigger the organization, the more. So VPN we were given after 1 week of documentation, signing, approval, blah blah blah, all the and during that time you're just stuck. You cannot connect to your work. Yeah. So you would be reissuing that again, the main certificate, then the other certificate devices will be importing that. So if you give longer time, it's better. Otherwise, it's a long manual process to then go for the root CA, start it, and then reissue to all the other services, and then they're going to import and export. So that's why it's up to you. So we get to know that it's not like, oh, every 6 months I can do that. I mean, you have to just go through the load, and many people will be involved there. If you're not running the whole show, then it's a big company. Go for longer time, but make sure not at the cost of security risk. So next, we're just going to keep it like that, but we get to know, okay, there's then log certificate database location is here, and certificate database log location also there. The cert log is the folder inside Windows System 32 where the files for database and log files of the ADCS are placed. Next, Windows integrated authentication, yes, exactly. Client certificate authentication, username and password. So these are types of authentications. What do you want this to be? So since it is Active Directory integrated, otherwise client certificate authentication, you just put mention all the information of the client, and the certificate should have enough information of the client, then it's going to authenticate. Otherwise, username password would be enough. So we're gonna just go for the Windows integrated authentication. which is the default one, right? Next. Okay, specify a server authentication certificate. When communicating with clients, the web services uses SSL protocol to encrypt network traffic. Right now we don't have an existing, we are just creating one. So once it is finished, then it will be, and if we restart this or come to this place, server certificate, then we're gonna have an existing. Right now we're creating a new. Choose and assign a certificate for SSL later. Next. So we're just going for later. Anyone else is on this window? So you see any existing certificate? No. So okay, next. And that's it. Configure.
So is there, if, say for instance, we just need like a certificate that not really for anything,
That's not what?
that not for anything critical.
Okay.
Is it any way to get it to renew automatically, but I just not recommending at all?
Automatic renewal is possible, but yeah, you need to really keep an eye on, what's getting renewed, and it should be manual better. It's best kept manual.
So I just remember we use a certificate called Entrust.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Entrust. Yeah,
Very good.
Entrust. You're thinking about it, or you used to do?
We use it.
You use it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's good. In fact, it's very good.
Okay.
So do you want to configure additional role services? That's for the other services we deployed, but right now I'm just gonna go no, because there is a lot just in certificate authority that we need to understand and configure and test, put it to test. So once the certificate authority is installed, then we need to see the main repository of all the certificate templates. Suppose there's a template, so there's a certificate template for users, there's a certificate template for computers, for web servers, for VPNs, for all kinds of scenarios. There's a certificate template. So to create a certificate for that service, authentication and encryption for that service. So let's try to check that certificate authority repository of templates. So that is called certificate templates. We need to go to that huge repository from MMC. So for that, Windows key and X just gives us this one, and go to run, and then MMC.
Considering that this is from Active Directory, does this touch sysvol folder at all?
Sysvol folder for distribution, yes.
Okay.
And when it is auto-enrollment, the distribution has to come from some central place, so that is it. Okay, MMC, enter, and we are going for certificate templates. So file, add remove snap in, authorization, there you go, certificate authority, actually, sorry. Certificate, there is a template, there is a authority as well. Certificate templates, okay, let's add that, certificate templates. Although if you, so let's just leave it certificate templates for now, and then we can come back. Certificate templates, press OK. This is added here. If I minimize that certificate templates, keep it like that and minimize, not close, so I can go and ADCS here, right click, or go to tools and certificate authority, same thing. Active Directory certificate authority is here. So if you click from tools certificate authority, this is where day-to-day tasks for, you want to revoke a certificate, okay, you want issue a certificate, or issued certificate. You want to see which certificates have been issued already, pending requests if somebody requested, failed requests, certificate templates is here as well. Now I want you to know that this is different, and the certificate templates we imported is different. So this is the certificate templates under certificate authority. This certificate template means already these templates are already being used right now, or these templates have already been deployed, and these are the default templates for these services. So domain controller already has a certificate issued, and EFS, which we were able to use, already has a certificate issued. User and computer does not have issued, but it's not like configured properly, or it's not authenticating and encrypting right now for user and computer and web server, but it is there available for these services. But this is not what we require. Now I want so we know that certificate templates here is where you actually have something distributed or already to the network. This is the place where you distribute, or this is the end part of that. So if I go back to this, what we imported, this one, certificate templates in MMC. If I go to the MMC window now, you can see the difference now. There's a long list of certificates. It also is known as certificate templates. That also, which we showed under certificate authority, is also known as certificate templates, but they are totally different. Certificate templates here, which we imported, this is the big source or root repository of all the certificate templates that we can copy and customize from. So what happens is that if I just go to the diagram here, the main thing is that if we want to have under certificate authority, there's a certificate template. So this is to issue certificates to any domain services, while through MMC the certificate templates, that is templates inside MMC, that is to create and customize certificates from templates. And once you created and customized and changed what you want, what kind of security level you want there, then and forward them to certificate authority certificate templates. Okay, that's pretty confusing now, right? I mean, there is a certificate templates we saw under certificate authority, and this is the where you have issued this, right? So, and then there's a certificate templates here from where certificate templates in MMC. So here we create certificate, and there we import it from whatever we created in certificate templates in MMC. We create here and customize, then we import it here, and from here it is issued to the domain. So if I want to now show that what's going on, so I'm just gonna go here to this. So in MMC we're gonna create now a template, and then we're going to go to that certificate authority. Whatever we created in MMC, we're going to import here. Once we import here that customized template, it's going to be available to be issued to the domain users, computers, or whichever so we're going to create one certificate for web server, we're going to create one certificate for user customized certificate, we're going to create one customized certificate for computer as well. So 3 types of customized certificates we're going to create now. Once we import those certificates from MMC to here, they are available for anyone to use if we know how to use that, and we're going to do that too. So here it's the end result. This is the distribution point, right? Or this is the area from where it's going to be available throughout the domain. So I'm just gonna go back and create a certificate now, right? So let's go to MMC and create a customized certificate. So before doing that, web server. So click W, and web server is there. Right click and duplicate. So when we go to web server, right click and duplicate, and when we right click and duplicate, there's a huge amount of options that appear. So I'm just showing that what are the options that can appear there, and certificate authorities. Is it compatibility settings that if you have Windows Server 2003, is it going to be that you want compatibility with that, but we don't have Windows 2003, we don't have 2008. We can just go straight to Windows Server 2012 R2, which is shown here. So I'm just going to drop down, and when I click there, it's saying that so I've just dropped down from here to here, right? And it's just saying that it's going to have 2 more features. We're saying, okay, whatever you're adding for 2012 R2, we're okay with that. Now it's saying that certificate recipient would be who. So okay, in our environment we have Windows 8.1. We can have Windows 7 and 2008 R2 as well. Let's just go for Windows 8.1. And now it's saying that when you choose that, there are many features that this certificate can support now. So we're just choosing the latest here, and then it gives us a lot of features. Just like any other area, we say that no, we want to use the latest features, then it's going to tell us.
So what if we have server 2012 R2 all servers, but we have Windows 7 computers?
Oh yeah, this is a combination that's also a lot. So you can just safely go for this one,
Okay.
like 7 and 2008 R2. It's just saying compatibility. Oh, you have that? Okay. So when we choose this, lesser amount of features are available. When you choose to 8.1, it has long list, much longer list than this. So it's all about features, but it's not that big deal. There are more features. You want to use more security features, it's okay. So yes, that's a combination. 7 clients are more available, while 2012 is also being introduced for more because of the good features. The changes are going to be happening on the very few areas here, and especially we're going to be customizing for users and computers mostly. I'm just showing the features here that any certificate template is offering for. This is a certificate for web servers. Web servers are it's going to be hosting the intranet for us, right, in the web servers. So this is what we are trying to do here. So if we go to subject name, supply in the request, build from this Active Directory, then there is a template called server. Do not store certificates and requests in the CA database, or issuance requirements, CA certificate manager approval, this number of authorized signatures. This is just for approval. Which email, which guy is going to approve your certificates if you're exporting that. But if we go to security here, security tab, that's where authenticated users have read permission, and we can actually auto enroll. This feature called enroll and auto enroll. If you select these 2 features, that means that this certificate can be automatically enrolled to authenticated users if they're all need to access your intranet with HTTPS facility. So the certificate for this one should be automatically enrolled to those users, or all authenticated users. Or authenticated means all the users of Active Directory, right? So we can actually make it available for all the users to access this, to receive this certificate automatically from Active Directory once they log in again the next time, or restart the computer, then they can. So what we are trying to say here is that, oh, this web server you want to access, we are making this the certificate for that available automatically to all the users. So you should not be receiving that message. But these are the areas I just wanted to show you. We're going to be making these changes in the user template and computer template. Right now I want to show you how to create or how to change an HTTP to HTTPS, right? So for that I'm just going to cancel out from here, because I just wanted to show you first these are the areas, extensions. There's a lot of things that we can do here, but we're going to be actually doing that on user template and computer template, and then we're going to auto enroll them. Also this is a general feature where it says validity period and renewal period. That's very important. And we can just put there, suppose this is intranet, so we can put the name of the new certificate as intranet or web server or whichever you're giving the certificate for, and we can also publish it in the Active Directory. So this means all the users can see and access this certificate, while we have also put the auto enroll feature available there as well. In fact, since we configured that authenticated users, so one change I made in security tab, which is read, enroll and auto enroll. Second change I made in the server, no, sorry, general. So second change is publish in Active Directory, and you know, it could be 2 years or 2 hours or 2 days, weeks, months. And renewal period in 6 weeks before the expiry. So general and security are the two areas where we have made the changes. But when we come to users and computers, then we're going to make changes to other tabs as well. I was double-minded. Okay, we're creating that, but we were not supposed to, but let's just create that. Let's do one extra stuff here. So I'm just going to apply that. I was saying that, okay, let's not do that and cancel out from here. Then I saw that, okay, why not we just use this one instead of the default one. The plan was that I'm going to create a page which will be an intranet page for the company, and I'm going to use the template web server. Now the plan is that let's just use the customized version of web server instead of web server. That's all, right? Okay, apply. Okay, we just know that we made changes to two things. So now we have one new customized template added in the repository of all the templates, certificate templates. So we need to import the template from here to the actual area from where it's going to be available throughout the domain. So I'm going to minimize this here, and there is that certificate authority which we access from tools and certificate authority. So there is also the same name folder or container there, but we don't see that intranet template here, right? So right click, new certificate template to issue. So certificate template to issue, when you click there, certificate templates, new certificate template to issue. When you click here, you see that intranet is here. This is the customized template we created, right? You're able to see that, right? No? Cancel. Certificate templates, new, here. You're here? Oh, you did apply that, right? In the MMC. Okay. Because it's at once in milliseconds changed the plan from cancelling out to apply. So you did apply. If you applied, you should be seeing that. Certificate template to issue. So did you rename it, that template, to intranet? Okay, then you should be seeing in the certificate template issue just like I'm seeing now. You should be intranet, right? You're able to. You're not? Strange. Why? Did you apply? Did you refresh? Although we did not need to refresh, but okay. Press OK, and when you press OK, this is intranet is available in certificate authority. This means it's available for the whole domain. Intranet, while web server is still available, right? This template is a customized copy of this. That's all. Okay, once this is done, you can just create another duplicate template for that. Oh, did you double click web server in the MMC, or did you right click and create duplicate? And create duplicate, did you select that there? You can directly customize the web server as well, but that's not recommended. Okay. You know how to, right? Right click web server and just select duplicate. Alt task duplicate. Yep. And it was security and general, we made changes. Okay, so we need to create one URL quickly and make a one .htm and just say welcome to Sysnet, that page, and it will be basically a HTTP page. Then we're gonna just turn it into a HTTPS page by binding it to port 443. So even if it is not created now, you can still use web server. That was the original plan. We were supposed to use web server. The main thing to understand here is how to bind a web page to 443 port. That's the main thing to understand. Then you do see web server, right? You don't see web server as well? Okay, what are you doing? What? No. You certificate templates you imported, or just certificate? MMC. Same one, okay. And you're on Active Directory, right? Domain controller, right? I mean, you don't see web server? Here you do see. But there also it is in the certificate authority. What did you open there? Tools and certificate authority, right? Tools and certificate authority in server manager, and certificate templates, there is web server. Okay, cool. So if the web server is there, it's already available for any website to be bound with 443. So I'm just gonna quickly now create a HTML page, and we can create it easily by first of all, when you deploy certificate services, or if you have web server already IIS available, so I'm going to go to C drive. So what are the major steps? I'm just going to write it down now. That create an HTML page inside www root. Maybe you heard that before. It's created by IIS. www root. It's in the C drive. And then open IIS and bind the this page name to port 443. But before that, create an A record for www for this page. You're gonna see that it's gonna be cool. So create an HTML page inside www root, first thing. So I'm just gonna go there to the server and check if there's if we have installed IIS server, then there should be a www root C drive. If I go there, inetpub, sorry, inetpub is there. If inetpub is there, then double click that, and there's that www root folder. So inside the www root folder is already one welcome page, but we need our page, and this is also HTML page, right? So so it's a C drive, inetpub, and www root. So the main purpose, the first step is to create our welcome page URL for intranet. When you say intranet page, it means that from whichever computer in the domain you want to access that, this page should open. That is called intranet page. So right now, one more thing, I keep it open. I'm just quickly opening the Internet Explorer and showing what's the default page on the IIS for intranet showing right now. If I go to intranet and type localhost, seriously, wow, it's not control A-ing as well. So local host, oh, it's going for internet, seriously. Oh yeah, this is the default page that always you will see. Instead of this default page, this is when you install IIS server, Internet Information Services, this default page is always there, which is just welcome. Instead, we need welcome, whatever we create now, this page should come there when the name of this PC is written across the domain in the browsers, anywhere in the computers. The welcome to Sysnet should be coming instead of this page. So that's called intranet. So I'm just gonna minimize. So I type localhost. If I type here http:// the name of the server, I think it is server 01. I think it should give the same page. No, it's not configured properly for that. We're gonna do that. Localhost just gives that, or the IP address gives that, or server 01 dot sysnet. I'm just checking different URL, sysnet domain dot local. No, it's not giving that. So intranet would be, if I type http:// server 01, which is the name of this server. Is it oh, it's DC01, sorry. That's why. Maybe that's why. So DC01 was the name. DC01, enter, and it should be added to safe site or internal sites. It's not added there. Trusted site, yeah, server 01. I'm adding that to the browser. Just wanted to see if my intranet for the company works properly. Oh, it's going for DC01. Let's just type that. Yeah, when we type DC01 or the name of the server, it should give the local page. Now we're going to change the local page, right? So and you have to add it to the safe sites, right, or the trusted sites. DC01. So I'm just going to go back to my folder and IIS restart. This is the page that's loading, right? Is it? Are you sure? So if I double click, IIS restart is loading actually. So if this is loading, now we just need to change this dude. HTML. So IIS start, can we edit directly this one? Open with, oh yeah, we can. So IIS start, right click, open with Notepad. And this is pure HTML. Obviously a bad idea. /body. Anyone knows HTML? Body and /body. Okay, there it is. So body, and I'm just gonna after body I'm gonna press enter, and welcome to Sysnet and testing SSL, testing HTTPS. Okay, this message is there in the body /body. So I hope it works. So I'm just going to close that. So under body, you can just type anything here. So I'm just going to close. IIS start should show this one as well now, if I went correctly. So you can just put anything here. Just after the body, you can just type anything. Create some spaces there. This is the addition I've done. So just press enter after the body and the the bracket. Everyone got that? Okay, so close that. Yes, I hope it saves directly. Sometimes it does not. Okay, it does. And it should not save it as txt, right? It's trying to save that at txt. That's a no-no, because it's not saving directly there. It's not allowing us to do that. So I'm gonna go all files here, and don't save it like text, and then .html. So I'm telling it, no, I'm forcefully changing you. I'm changing you. Yes, IS start Mr. I'm changing you. So all files and .html, I am properly putting the extension there. So it should then ask me to overwrite, or it's going to tell me it's not allowed. Two things. You follow that, right? Press yes. So you don't have permission to save the in this location. Contact the administrator to obtain the. Oh, that's easy. There's. It says, would you like to save it in documents folder? It's showing to everyone.
Yeah.
So you press yes, and then copy from there and paste it here. That's all. Press yes. So it is. It took us to, but make sure the HTML extension is not lost. .html. Save. So we saved it in the documents folder. You know, these are some things that system administrators have to really go through, no matter how much time it's taking. When you have to make something happen, you have to really stick to it. So documents folder, I'm just gonna go there. In the when you go to this PC, to your right side is the documents folder, and there it is, and it is HTML. But you know, the main thing is that you have to go to view for this, and file name extension, you have to check that. You know, that's why developers have to see each and every small step. There are just a couple of million steps here. So if you're following, you're gonna get it right. So file name extensions, you know why we do that, right? File name extensions, because we can then see the files and we can change extension. So file name extensions in view, once you click that, that's it. Now you can see the extension. Right click that extension, so view, and click that file name extension. Right now you see that extension, copy. It's not in the end text, so we are still okay. I'm just gonna go back to this PC again, C drive, and go to inetpub www.root and paste on that dude. Continue, and seriously, okay, which one is ours? Yeah, the one I pasted, but the previous one was HTML actually, although it's showing type HTML, but it's HTML. So we're gonna just change over to HTML as well. Let's just delete that dude, or rename it. Previous one, just rename it or delete. We don't need that guy, right? This is a new extension I just came up with. So it's nothing. That extension is not recognized, so it's unusable now. So this, I'm just changing it to HTML. So now this should be the exact file which, okay, again, administrator privilege. Now we should be good, I hope. So when I type DC01, there should be welcome to sysnet written there, right? You got that? There were a couple of million steps only. So if I go now, DC, press refresh, there you go. Welcome to sysnet. Sorry for the colors, but now this is our page. This is available. But we can just put any page now, any page, just name it IS start and .html, that's it. And just remove the old one. Whatever page you have perfectly created, it's gonna show here when you put the name of the DC. Now, if this name of the DC, it's joined to the domain, right? So I'm just going to the second server now, and if it's an intranet page, or the way intranet works, if it's working that way, and it should, so I'll delete that on the next http://dc01, enter, use recommended settings, whatever, and there you go. It's opening from every PC now, every server, right? Across the domain it should be opening like that if you have configured it properly. So now we can replace it with any page, welcome to this company, and these are the employee announcements, and everyone gets a raise, thank you very much, etc., etc. So this is how, you know, URL. Now after that you can just attach a full folder, put a full folder there in a www.root, and all the pages, next, finish, next, home, all the pages are there. Full website can be put there, right? Okay, once this is done, that was not the actual purpose, but we get to know something else, right? Maybe you know it already, but this is something extra, the how to create an intranet page and full website after that. Okay, once this is done, let's just go to the actual stuff. Before that, the second thing, major step was, if I go back to that, create an A record for www for this page. Why? Because let me show you now. So let's go to domain controller, go to DNS, right click DNS, go to DNS manager, forward lookup zone. I'm just creating an A record called www, and I'm just going to point it. It's not actually A record. www. So this is www. Only this www, and the IP address I'm putting it. Was it an A record? Okay. So IP address I'm putting it is the IP address of that server. What is the IP address of that server? What that server? This is the server I'm putting the IP address of. So this is the IP address ipconfig 200.1. Okay. So now you're gonna see that it's gonna open like a website. It's not www, the internet one. So 192.168.200.1. So create a pointer record or not, doesn't matter. Oh, we don't have a reverse circle zone, but anyway, we don't need it. www, and it should its IP address is 200.1. That's it, right? Click add. Created. The record has been created. So now, what's going to happen is, when you put in the browser www.sysnetdomain.local, it's going to open the welcome to Sysnet page, the one we messed up with, or the one we displayed. So, and then we're going to make it HTTPS instead of HTTP. So what's going on now? I'm just going to go to command prompt and ipconfig flush DNS register DNS ipconfig. So it, because we made a change in the DNS, flush DNS register DNS. Needs an elevation, but flush is okay. Okay, so DNS step is done, right? Now we go for the final step. I'm just going to open the IAS. Oh, but before that, I'm just gonna try this now. www.sysnetdomain.local. It opens the same page, but it's still HTTP. So if I go to another browser, and I need to add it to the trusted sites as well. Okay. www.sysnetdomain.local, add it to trusted site in the browser. This is also, you can do it from group policy for, if there are 10,000 machines. It's still trying to do that. It's not working. Is it working for you? When you put that same Sysnet, welcome to Sysnet open? Oh, okay. Well, then it's close tab, and because this is the URL we're going to bind to 443 now, so it better work for me. You add it? Oh yeah, it works fine. Cool. No, the trusted site you have in the below, there's a check mark. Uncheck that. This is just going to add HTTPS, but once you uncheck, yeah, it's working fine now. Sysnetdomain.local. Now we're gonna bind. So HTTP, when we put HTTP after we bind, it should give us that certificate error, and HTTPS, it should open perfectly. So this is how all the websites go and become HTTPS. So I'm just gonna close that now, and let's go inside the IAS server. Oh, it's in the tools. So I'm going to go to tools and go to IAS server, and the certificate we're going to bind it to that certificate. We're going to trace it back to our certificate authority as well. That, oh, this is the certificate we bind it to. So IAS manager is where we're going to bind this URL to port 443. So for that, what happened? You're there? Kinda. DNS? Oh. No, maybe you're not having issue. What's going on? Did you create the A record? Oh, it's not opening? Yikes. You can just check the DNS service in the services.msc. Go there, restart the services of DNS. Oh, you did that already? Okay. Oh yeah. Welcome to Microsoft. So, okay, here I'm just gonna go to sites and go to default website and go down to default document. Actually, not default documents, it's the certificates. Suppose, no, it's on the DC01 above, and then it was, yeah, server certificate here. Server certificate. You found it? Okay. Server certificate is now, there is that create domain certificate on the right side. On the totally right side actions, there's a create domain certificate. So let's just create that. Now we're creating actual certificate. Common name has to be exact spelling as the URL of the site. You found the create domain certificate? Yeah. So www.sysnetdomain.local. It has to be perfect spelling. The rest is okay, whatever there is the information, but the spellings of the URL must be exactly the same. Sysnetdomain.local. Okay, good. Organization, that could be company A, whatever. The rest of the information has to be according to your documents, but doesn't matter. Organizational unit is not the Active Directory organizational unit, it's just for this certificate. So organizational unit is management, whatever, city, Toronto. The URL is the main thing. Spell mistake must not be done there. The rest is what we are filling here, Canada. So company A, management, city, Toronto, state, Ontario, country, CA. That's usual stuff, as long as the common name is perfect, right? Next. Now it's saying which is the certificate authority that's going to issue this certificate. So select, there's only one, our domain, DC01. Double click that. This is the certificate authority. Friendly name is any name you can put there, right? So www.sysnetdomain.local. I'm just putting the friendly name as well, the same as the URL, which I'm going to bind to 443. So this means it's going to be encrypted, and it's going to get a certificate. This certificate which I'm requesting is going to be issued by Sysnet Domain, which is our Active Directory certificate authority. So once this certificate is created, click finish. Now it is showing here this certificate, right? You were able to do that? Okay. And okay. Okay. Still. Okay. So once this create domain certificate is done, now we need to just bind it. So binding it is so if you go to default website here and go to bindings, second step is this. So first step was go to the DC01, go to the server certificates and create a domain certificate. which we did. Now we're going to go for default website and just go to bindings here. If we go to bindings, there's already 2 ports written here, 80 and 443. If we go to 443 here and click edit, and it's going to ask which URL do you want to bind to HTTPS, or so if we drop down, there it is, sysnetdomain.local, and required server name indication, host name is really we don't need to actually put that, and we DC01 is the, yeah, in my case it's DC01. But if we just put this information, which is also okay. One more thing, this is the certificate. We can just check now, SSL certificate, view, the certificate opens, details. If I go to details, way down is the thumbprint number. I can just compare that this certificate that I'm requesting has been issued by my certificate authority, Active Directory Certificate Authority, ADCS, Certificate Services, which I just installed. So 131360 is the end pair numbers of this certificate that I'm requesting right now. 13. So when I go to the issued certificate container inside the Active Directory Certificate Services, I'll check some of the certificates, and one of the certificates must be having the same thumbprint number, right, in details here. So that's going to be a proof that, okay, the certificate authority that I just installed, Active Directory 1, that issued me this certificate. So 131360 is the certificate thumbprint end pairs numbers, and so I just press OK. I just wanted to remember that, so press OK now. I just mentioned this URL and everything else is okay, and this was in edit, right? Oh, hostname I should have actually written. You know what? I'm just gonna go back again, edit. It's DC01. Then I'm not checking the require one. So at least this would be a proof that, oh, this is the hostname and this is the SSL certificate. So press OK and it should show now. 443, we have bound this URL with 443, so it should be opening with HTTPS now instead of HTTP, right? So close, refresh. You follow all the steps, or if there is confusion I can repeat it, because we need to compare the results. So what to check here? I'm going to open the certificate authority now, and issued certificate must have that certificate which I just requested. So there's a web server certificate, and in the issued certificate I can see now. If I double click that, issued to www.sysnetdomain.local exactly, and details, if I go exactly to the thumbprint number 131360 exactly. So this is the certificate I requested, and this is what issued certificate inside the certificate authority is showing me, that yes, you requested it and we are giving you the certificate. So a thumbprint number. So double click, details, go way down, thumbprint. This is the full thumbprint number showing below, and your thumbprint of course will be different. The last 3 pairs, just compare that with when you were issuing that, so you would know, okay, that's the unique certificate number that tells me this is a certificate, right? So in my case it's 1360, your case pretty surely it will be different. So you were able to compare? It's the same? Okay. So now the test, does it open with HTTPS, and if now we open with HTTP, does it really show the error or not? So I had kept the Internet Explorer closed. I'm gonna open that, and sysnet domain HTTP is still opening with HTTP actually.
Sorry, your cache.
Yeah, it's in the cache actually. So you know what? If I go to where do we delete that cache? Just delete that, right? The IP address. Oh yeah, we have to go to forget the history thing. Internet options, is it there? And delete browsing history. There it is. Yeah, delete cookies, temporary history, form data, file tracking. Yeah, delete the thingy. Apply. Okay. Okay. Yeah, everything is gone. So www dot. Oh, it should not go outside actually. Is it in the safe site already? Because I'm putting www, it's not gonna definitely go to internet then. Oh yeah, it is there in the safe site. Thank God I didn't delete that safe site thing. Using the thing so much. Okay. www dot sysnet domain dot local. Please search locally. And it is opening with HTTP. What? Oh, I did not locally put the S there. And yeah, it has to be added to the safe side as well. HTTPS colon slash sys www dot sysnet domain dot local HTTPS. Sorry. Oh. Internet Explorer has finished deleting the selected browsing. Oh yeah, that was the old. So one day it's going to open, or Monday. So
So we need to remove the HTTP from cluster text.
Remove. Yeah, we can remove that too because it's still going for that one as well. You're right. HTTPS colon slash www dot sysnet domain dot local. Okay, it's actually giving an error. Sysnet domain dot local, and when we go for HTTP, so the expected results are not there. It's properly opening. What? HTTP, it's opening properly. So in IAS there was one, I think, more. So now that's why I always check my documents. So there it was, how to quickly create a local website in our IAS, and then how to go for certificate services, getting computer certificates automatically, and there was that reference credential roaming, how to create local website. There you go. So we did that. Yeah, on the site we went for default. Okay, that was default document, but you know, I did that. We didn't have to go there. I'm gonna visit that, but the main thing we wanted to see was, yeah, we did that too, and that was an alias. I was sure it was alias, not a record. Okay, alias. So DNS. Okay, DNS is okay. Huh? Oh, okay. Yikes. So guys, or let's just go to DNS, remove the A record. It was a C name. Right click, delete, yes, and go to the C name, alias name, new alias in. So here www, and it should point to yeah, this one, DC01. It should point to DC01. Hello, I'm pointing to. Hey, why there are two DC01s? Oh, one is 31. That's why. That's my, because it's connected to internet. I don't need internet right now. So sorry guys. Cool. Internet. I don't need internet. That's why this is messing with me. Disable the second network card. I disabled it, but what am doing is in the DNS. Did you get that DNS alias I'm creating, not the A record?
Yep.
So
For the two IP addresses,
yeah,
I already have
you have two addresses. I'm just actually deleting that. See this? Delete, because we don't need a wrong A record. Oh, it's in the, because of the, delete that as well. So I need the correct information. Now I need to really refresh that, because the 31 is just for internet, so it should not be connecting to internet. I mean, it should not be at least registering its address in DNS, that it is also another IP address is also representing my domain controller. Now I have the correct one. Okay, and the CNAME is also there. So one thing is CNAME. Now I can try at least to put it there. Yeah, it's just going to so https://www.sysnet-domain.local, although I should have run the ipconfig flush DNS and go to internet options, security, trusted sites. Oh, it's not there. So what we are trying to do here is just trying to get the HTTPS, and at least it should give us the some error if it's not still accepting HTTPS. All right. Oh, not right, but we are going somewhere, right? So HTTPS. This is the error which is not coming. It's supposed to come with HTTPS. So if you go to continue to this website, it's going to open the sysnet.local. At least it's not recognizing that certificate right now. It has certificate, but it's saying that it's not. This is a security certificate.
This is a problem. I guess it's
Zero. Okay. And I need to add this. Make sure again that it's added. Sysnet-domain.local. Yeah. Now it should be opened, and it's still not opening. Cool. Not cool. So we're in a quagmire. Oh, DC01. So it is working fine at least. And when I go for http:// sysnet
maybe you need to monitor local sites, local internet versus trusted sites.
yeah, local intranet for trusted sites.
No, so if you go to internet options
Yeah.
and you go to security, instead of hitting trusted sites, if you go to local internet,
Oh, that's for intranet. Yeah. Advanced, and yeah, it's gonna just take it away from the trusted sites to this site to actually this. It's going to open it as a intranet actually, which is also a good idea. And you know what? This bracket was not there. So I've added both. In fact, I need this as intranet opening, but not that. So I'm just trying to put it HTTPS, and yeah, I'm just trying to remove this as well. So exact name should be coming there. HTTPS is not domain.local. Well, ultimately it goes there. Well, I have to then make it work, because we cannot just spend all the time here.
certificate message.
Yeah, certificate message should not be coming for HTTPS, but it's coming, so it's not recognized as certificate. And yeah, so I'm just gonna see the document again here. Let's put the document. Server certificates, yes, that step was correct. Then we went for create domain, yeah, that was also correct. Sysnet.local, and then yeah, everything was okay here. And click finish, yeah, we did that. Default, exactly. Yes, and when we go for localhost, it just gives. So yeah, it gives perfectly. Suppose, yeah, the rest of the steps are okay. It's just that let's just put ipconfig flush DNS to all, and I'm just gonna right click, command prompt, run as administrator. So what I'm doing is ipconfig slash flush DNS and ipconfig slash register DNS here, and then ipconfig slash flush DNS and ipconfig slash register DNS. Oh, it also requires elevation. Okay, on both servers I did that so I could get some better, and also restart the IIS reset. Restart IIS access denied. You must be an administrator. Oh, remote computer to use this. Seriously? Oh, it still requires authentication. So I'm just restarting the IIS as well on domain controller. IIS reset slash restart, and it's restarting the IIS now. Office server is unavailable. Seriously? Okay, there are some warnings coming now. Refresh. Yeah, as far as the settings are concerned, these are the settings. Refresh again. And let us quickly do this, or we can give it time and come back after the second other lab for this, and then check it again. Also, I had disabled internet here, so why is it again coming? Yep, it's disabled. So if internet is disabled, let's just check it now. The whole history is gone. So https :// sys.sysnet domain.local www.sysnet domain.local. So if we go for just DC01, system domain.local. Okay, I'm not gonna give a lot of time here, but definitely I have to come up with a video now. That sounds https yeah, okay. Do you want to go to DC01? Okay. So https //www.sysnet domain.local. IAS. So if I go to IAS or certificates, sysnet domain.local, details, certification path. Okay, let's do the next lab. Yes. Okay, ready? So then we're gonna come back here. I just want to give it time. Maybe it's just trying to recover from the messing we are doing. Oh, you know what? IAS restart. IAS start is still not the top one. Move up.
It's not even the right one.
Sorry?
Actually, IIS starts .html.
HTM, right? Whatever is written here.
Yeah, but we changed it to HTML.
Then we change it back to HTML. Okay, let me check. So let's just check that too. And if I go to the folder, yep, it is HTM.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I just put it on the follow-up side. The first one, that just go for this one and do not check others. Okay, other than that, what else we can do? Refresh. And server certificates. Okay, binding. I just want to check the binding again for default website. Binding settings. So this name I didn't give in that. www.sysnetdomain.local. Yep. Select. Search. Yep. 443 unassigned, which is okay. Press OK. Close. Refresh. This is one last time. I'm just trying to do that, and then we're gonna just visit it one day or Monday. Okay. Server certificate. Okay. So then stop the default website and start. Start. Stop. Websites cannot be started unless the World Wide Web publishing service is running. Seriously, I have some services not running, or maybe it stopped just now when I started services.msc. Here's one thing stops, then the second thing stops. Scenario going on. It is World www services. Hey, where's that?
Second one. Oh, that's like
This one?
like web publishing. This is automatic.
Yeah, it is automatic and running, right?
But it's not running. No.
Oh,
Not the last one.
oh, this is Windows Store service. This one.
Is that the second to last one on the bottom? Yeah.
Oh, that one. Sorry. Oh, it's not. Services. Okay, one thing stops, the second thing, and now I can just start. Oh, it started. Okay, so checking again, and then let's just Also, yeah, it is started as well. Okay. So let's just check one last time. Then we're gonna just visit it back because there's another auto enrollment thing we need to do. Oh, it's working. And if we go for HTTP, it's also working. What? It should be giving an error, right? So if we go for HTTPS, it was giving very horrible errors, and it's not giving, but there's supposed to be a difference. So if I go to the second server here and close all the browsers here, is it getting it from the cache? And close my oh, and certificate is saying untrusted certificate. Okay, so the certificate representative this website was not issued by a trusted certificate authority. This problem might indicate an attempt to fool you or intercept. Okay, I don't want to read that, but is this the same certificate? Thumbprint, yeah, it's the same certificate, 131360. So why is this authority not trusted? You know why? Because this dude, I need to disjoin and join it to the domain. What? Is that trusted? You just hurt my feelings now, and the feelings of my certificate authority. And let's look up 200.1. Hey, you're not accepting the authority of my certificate authority? No. Okay, if it's DC01, yeah, it's opening fine. When it says accept my certificate, it says no, I don't think you're ADCS, you're someone else. That is fooling me for it. ADCS. It says the same thing? It's not opening? Oh, now it's going for, it's not accepting my certificate. And still go to the website. At least it's going to the website now, but that was not the main thing. What? Restart. Oh, HTTPS, but I did not bind that with DC01 name. Yeah, we're binding it with this specific name. So, there was another thing called certutil/pulse minus pulse. So that would just certutil dash minus pulse. That's the command for that. Certutil space minus pulse. Certutil space minus pulse. Sorry? At all? Like, did not start? Okay. I mean, not okay, but... So, if I now install certificate here, which I'm doing now, so I right click that same error and I'm clicking install, and then current location, next, automatically select, finish, okay. I'm just installing this certificate from after clicking this. We can always do that. And import was successful, it's saying. So I'm closing the browsers and now opening it again. I have specifically downloaded the certificate, that one, and now I'm expecting that this dude should not be giving me that error, and yeah, it is still giving me that error. So I'll just restart this machine while this was part of the heartbeat. Actually, that sucks. So guys, let's just check the second certificate thing called, and then go for IPAM as well, and then come back here. Let's give it a time. Sometimes they are not communicating, but restart dash com, enter. So I'm restarting that second computer here, and the first computer is opening HTTPS, and without even certificate error. This HTTPS without certificate error, and refresh. So but on the second page, on the second machine also, it should be opening without certificate error, right? And it should be giving error when it is not HTTPS, but it's opening that as well. So this means it must be cached, and so I'm just gonna delete the history again and type it one more time to grab it from the server, and I guess it's going to not cooperate. Delete history, apply, okay, close browser, and open browser again, and https www.sysnet.domain.local. okay, no certificate error, and it's the same server, but I want it to happen on the second server or throughout the domain, then it's gonna be real. And if I go to the certificate, yeah, it is the certificate authority. That's why it's not giving it as I don't recognize you, because certificate authority is installed here. So it is working on the domain controller, but that's not what I was looking for. Well, at least it's working for the domain controller. Before it was not even working there, and the certificate is accepted, which is also cool. But this is what we need to see on all the computers across the domain. Then we will consider that it's working fine. Okay, one more thing. Let's just leave it there or restart the computer and come back later. Also, I did some quick troubleshooting there. ipconfig register DNS, restarted the IAS web. The only change after we have done all the steps was that it was a CNAME, not an A record. After the CNAME, what I did was all ipconfig register DNS, as well as I also went to the document here and just put that there, and not in the document, the default website here, and put that IAS start on the top, so it should quickly find that, instead of going for default is not here, default ASP is not there, index is not there, then it comes to IAS start. So it takes a little time. So if you to put it on the top, but if I go to the main IAS and the default document, and also there I'll put the IAS start in the top as well, here on the top, with where DC01 written. So it should just quickly find it and try to load it. So on domain controller is working fine, but on the other server, finally it has come back. And if I log in, so we need to still see the user auto enrollment and the other computer auto enrollment, and how to really see if it reaches the user and server. So for that, that's a separate procedure. So we need to create 2 more templates, customized certificates, and then try to do that. I have logged in from my second server again, and go to Internet Explorer, and just try one more time. Oh, it's not, delete history is not there. So let me just delete browsing history when on exit. So now the setting is there. I exited the browser, history is gone. Now it should be fetching directly from my, it's asking for a certificate from my certificate authority. So https www.sysnetdomain.local, enter, searching, Seriously? Oh, good, guys, it works on the second one. So on the first one, where the certificate authority is, only thing is I just put the search time lesser by putting this I start on the top here as well as here in the default document. On both on the top. The only other change was reset. IAS reset / restart means that restart the IAS services and delete the browser history. That's it. And you're getting the certificate perfectly here as well. So it's the communication error only. And this is now bound to HTTPS. But the thing is that when I just do HTTP, the creepy thing opens there as well. So but there is no lock error coming here. This means it if we had put it on authentication and encryption, it would have done, but we need to really stop this, that HTTP is not the secure, or why HTTP is even working, because its port 80 is still configured, although we did not bind it there, and it's empty. This means that it might be DC01 must be working as well. Oh, seriously? So we need to stop this, and only HTTP should be working. But when we go to HTTP, it is properly showing everything, all the signs. So it is working on the second one as well, with the lock showing here, which means that it is coming from that. It's properly doing the authentication. We just need to stop now, which I will give time now. And come back later with the video for that, or when I'm just publishing that, I'll just add that step to remove that HTTP as well. But HTTPS is working. The only change, CNAME, well, that was a wrong step. It was not an A record, CNAME record. Second thing, restart the IS services, www services, IP connect first DNS, register DNS, and delete history from browsers and check again and again. That's the only few million troubleshooting steps we did. So but that's how we really wanted to see the result, right? So we had to go the hard way, but we get to learn a lot from there as well, that what million places you have to go to make it work. Okay, second thing was that if you want to auto enroll, so website thing really required a lot of steps. This, when you're enrolling certificates to users and computers, it's not that many steps. It's just few million restarts to your computer. Okay, so anyway, now we know the steps of how to customize and issue a certificate to any object or any service in the domain. So if the company policy says that enroll certificate for every new user or current user and new users, whenever they are discovered that they don't have certificates, so we have to create and customize a certificate for those users as well. For that, now I don't need DNS now, so I'm just going to close that, and I need to first go to the main. I don't need IAS as well, really gave us a hard time. Anyway, so again I'm going to go to the basic repository of all the templates. Now I'm going to create a certificate for the user, customize a certificate for the user. For the user, I'm going to go way down here and right click the user and duplicate template, right? So when I go way down here, now it's opening all those same compatibility screen is first. So I'm just gonna go say that okay, it's 2012 R2, so whatever new features you can tell me, let me know. And our environment is the latest one, so it's 8.1. either it's this or 2012 R2. In our case we have 2012 R2, but we can just go for Windows 7 as well. Second thing I need to change here is the user in the general, the name of the, so first in the compatibility 2012 and 8.1. Second thing in the general is that it's sysnet users template. Just put that. Validity 1 year, publish automatically selected there. One thing to so first change compatibility 2012. Second change just name of the user. Oh, template name is this. Control C. Template display name also same thing, right? Third thing is security, and authenticated users must be enroll and auto enroll. So now when I apply and put it to the actual issuing authority template area, then it's going to auto enroll right away then and there. We just need to go to the user side and confirm that. So one change compatibility, second change general, third security, fourth change is subject name here. Subject name says that if I see a certificate, I need to see that what's the user's email. We didn't configure that, right? So if we had Exchange server, we would have had, although we can just put in any user's Active Directory attributes, we can just put that make believe email, and it's gonna just cross check the email properties in available or not. But here I'm just unchecking that. What I'm saying here is that when you're cross checking the user for authentication and you're checking the certificate of the user, do not check for email name. Include email name in subject name. No, do not check in user's email. Just go for user principal name and authenticate that user. That's what I'm saying here, right? If I had an email, and every user always has an email, so definitely you would leave it like that. Keep it with email. Yeah, check the email. So first change compatibility, second change general, third change security, enroll or no enroll. Fourth change is subject name, which I just kept it to user principal name. That's it, right? Or so this is when it comes to name. These all fields will be checked. I just kept it to one field, so we could actually see if the certificate arrived and if the user can see the certificate now, right? So four changes I've made: compatibility, general, security, and subject name. Issuance requirements or server, they are just extra things that we may or may not need to use. According to our environment, we can just check that. Cryptography, we can still make it a very high level certificate by changing all the key size and everything for particular certificate as well. Signature and encryption. So here, request handling, this certificate, what do you want to use for? Just encryption you want to use for, or you want to use just for signature or authentication, or you want to use it for both, right? So that's where you can put the use of the certificate, define the use of the certificate. So we're just putting what is default, signature and encryption both. Try both, right? So I didn't change anything here. It was just default, just showing you the options. So in general, we just put the name there. So we're expecting this certificate to be showing up there in the template. So I'm just gonna apply now, right? You made the change. Okay, apply. Okay, you there? DNS stored. Oh, you're reinstalling that. Okay. So this is the through MMC, the main certificate repository. We have created sysnet users template is showing here now, but definitely this is still not available for all the users. So we know the drill now. I'm gonna go back to the certificate authority now, which we opened from tools, and I need to import that template here so it could be ready to be issued to all the users. It's actually just going to start issuing that. So certificate template and certificate template to issue. Again, I'm just gonna import that now here. Sysnet should be in C. Yeah, there it is. So Sysnet users template, you see that, right? So Sysnet's user template is there. Press OK, and it's here to be issued to any of the users in the domain. So how do we confirm that? Now it's here. We don't need to do extra steps to push it. There's nothing called pushing here, but still I would definitely want to check some of the documentation just to make sure that I did not miss any steps. So credential into the how to create a quick local website. Seriously, check to make sure that the main users and computers get the certificates automatically. Yep, there it is. So, oh yeah, there is that group policy we have to make sure as well. Oops, sorry. So certificate templates, yes, we did that. This is done, this is done. Duplicate, we did. Till duplicate, we did that. Now we need to go to those group policy areas just to make sure that they are going to reach the clients. So I'm just making sure that we are going there. Yeah, there it is. So enroll certs is the group policy that we're going to create, and then inside the enroll certs we're going to be just going for changing this computer configuration policies, Windows settings, security settings, and public key policies, and auto enrollment for computer and users. Okay, so I'm just going to go there to the group policy management and show you how to do that, and I'm going to expect that it works fine. So on the domain controller, after we have imported that user template, I'm going to go to tools and go to group policy management, because we need to enable the auto enrollment feature in group policy. So forest domains, expand that, sysnet domain, and over the domain right click and create a new GPO. Over, well, in production definitely we're not going to go for the root of the domain to create that. Create a GPO and then enroll users. So I'm just creating a policy called enroll users. Well, it should be enroll users and computers actually, but click edit the policy. Now user configuration. Wow, am I going fast or too fast? Okay. So policies, security settings, so Windows settings, security settings. Wow, there's the public key policies already. So user configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, public key policies, and there you go. Certificate services client, auto enrollment. That's exactly what we need. Double click the auto enrollment. Here it is enable, renew expired certificates, update certificates, display user notifications for expiring certificates. So what I'm doing here is went to the enroll users, went to the user configuration, then policies, Windows settings, security settings, public key policies, and the last one is certificate services client auto enrollment. So I double clicked that, it was disabled, so I enabled it and just checked all three options there, which is just renew expired certificates and update certificates, and when 10% of the expiration is left, notify the users. Okay, press OK. We haven't created a certificate, customized certificate for computer, but we can enable the computer policy while we are here, right? And it's the exact same path for the computer as well. Instead of user, it's going to be just computer written there. Auto enrollment for the computer as well as the user. Then we're going to customize the computer certificate as well. Since we're in the policy, so I'm going to, I had already expanded the user configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, public key policies, and the last one is on the right side, certificate services client. This was for the user. Same is for the computer. Path is the same. Policies for computer, Windows settings, security settings, and in the computer it's way down, but it's same public key policies, and the last one is certificate services client auto enrollment. In users, it's the certificate services client auto enrollment, and in the computer configuration, certificate services client auto enrollment. Same thing, but this is for the computer, that is for the user. So enable that, enable both, and apply and OK. Right? You got it? See, it's a couple of million steps only. So it's like, whoa, Jay would be right now like, like, oh, Jay, you're watching that. Hey, I mean that you can do it perfectly. Okay, so public key policies for both are enabled. Once, so group policy portion is done. Were you able to do that, or was I too fast? There's so much here, so and I did it a couple of million times as well. I'm using a.
Goes at the domain level.
Yeah, just for for us to just put it directly. Otherwise, I would connect it in production environment to a specific OU, not on the domain level. Or the company policy if it says everyone must be encrypted and authenticated through a certificate. So I'm just gonna close this group policy management editor and refresh. Then I'm gonna give that long command that we give after every group policy. CMD go to, not long command, but it's gp update / force. If you want to give two commands in command prompt, then you put and here, and then you go for cert util -pulse. I would have just entered this separately, but this is just just to give two commands at one time. So gp force and cert util -pulse. Enter. First it's going to run gp force, then it's going to run cert util -pulse. The two commands. You can also mention then and shutdown -t if it's cert util -pulse command failed. Error access denied. It needs authenticated, or it needs admin privilege. So at least cert util needs cert util -pulse for certificate. Yeah, it's now okay. So I should have just started it in administrator prompt, both commands. But anyway, cert util just refreshes the certificates. So user certificate is there, but we did not issue the computer certificate, right? Let's just do that and go to the client. So I'm just refreshing the computer certificate. Again, I need to customize and all the same steps. We are doing it again and again just to be familiar with all the usual steps of creating a customized certificate. Otherwise, it would have been just one certificate we would have done. So I'm just going back to the certificate templates with MMC, with MMC I opened, and then computer. Now before I right click the user, now I'm right clicking the computer and duplicate template. The only difference is okay, for the computer compatibility, again 2012 R2, press OK, and certificate recipient 8.1 and R2. In our case, we just have 2012 R2, right? But we can just go easily for Windows 7. Second thing, there will be a little difference as well from the user configuration customization of the template, and this is the computer customization. So general, of course, again sysnet computers. We'll just type that there. Template display name, then it changes here as well. You can notice that published certificate in Active Directory is not by default checked here, because it's good for users, but computers, it's it's our choice that we want Active Directory to have this kind of data as well. But if we don't check it, it's also okay. Computers. Okay, second thing we're doing, again, security. Authenticated users, and hey, it's authenticated users. I need computers. Enroll, auto enroll for authenticated. I need so how do we put this permission for all the computers? Authenticated computers?
Click on. Click on.
Add and
Switch.
yeah. Is there a security group? So authenticated users is a security group, right? So maybe there is a computer security group as well. So like auth10, if I put check name, the only security group is users.
We have the OU. Computer OU.
Computers OU is there, and does it check that? No, it doesn't go for OUs, just groups. So okay, computers, and okay, so we have like computers starting from. Well, we can just go for advanced and just search the whole thing. Whatever computers we have, we should have just few. Domain computers is the security group for that. Okay, good. So that's what we will add since we are in here. So that's domain computers exactly. So well, domain computers added. Press OK. Now domain computers is already on enroll. So I'm just gonna make sure that read and auto enroll is selected for domain computers. Main thing is enroll and auto enroll must be selected. So we're expecting that automatically the certificates will be issued to computers as well, and we're going to try to confirm that. Oops, did I press OK? Okay, so if I go down to Sysnet computers and double click it again, because there's security we did with authenticated with domain computers. Yeah, here it is. Auto enroll should be selected. Subject name, we're not messing with subject because computers cannot have emails, so of course only DNS name is selected here in subject name. In users we had just gone for user principal name, but here's DNS name for computers. That's a difference I wanted to show. Security, domain computers there, okay. General, compatibility, we just changes those regular things and that's it. So the only thing we added here is, you know, domain computers and put it on enroll auto enroll. So nothing much changed except for the name of the customized template. So press OK. Now we have this template. We need to just import it to the certificate authority certificate templates area. So we're just going to go back here. There it is, certificate authority certificate templates area. Right click, new certificate template to issue. So we're just going for number to issue, and this it's in C, Sysnet computers. Oh, it should be in D now. So domain computers. Oh, Sysnet computers. Sorry, it was Sysnet computers still. Press OK, and now we have Sysnet computers and Sysnet users template. Oh, that was totally different name. Okay, so now this means that group policy is in place, 2 customized templates are in place. How do we check if we were issued certificate for a user and a computer on a member server or on a, so let's just go to member server. We are logged in from that, you know, the domain admin account, which is Sysnet admin. Are we? So let me just go there and check. Yep, Sysnet admin, we are logged in. Desktop. So what we need to do is we will go to MMC and import the certificates, snap in. So on the member server, now we're just finalizing this, or we're finally checking that did the certificate get issued automatically after we requested or we configured it with auto enroll. So MMC, press OK. On the member server, press yes. Once we are in MMC, we go to file, go to add remove snap in, and what we're trying to see here is just certificates, and there it is. But we have to go it 2 times because we need to import the certificate for users as well as computers. So certificates, click add. It's going to ask is it for user or computer. So first of all, we're going to just go for user, click finish. Then again, while selected certificates, click add again and go to computer account this time and next, and then it asks for is it a local computer or another computer. So I'm just going to say local computer. I'm just checking certificates for this local computer that I'm logged in. So certificates current user is added as well as certificates for local computer added. You were able to do that? Okay, you're there? Okay. You were really? Wow. I think you need to stay here and really create the environment again. Okay. No, if you had done the snapshot, you could have just gone back. So always remember. Okay, so these two are added. Press OK. What is the indication that certificates have been auto-enrolled? So when we go for computer certificate, in for the user or the computer, the personal folder must have a subfolder called the certificates folder. The current user does not have it, right? Are you on the same page or you're with Michael? Yeah. You're a little behind, right?
No, actually,
Far behind.
which page is this?
So this is the certificate. So I imported in MMC Admiral Snap-in on the member server the certificates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh. So certificates, when you click add, it asks for my user, so go next finish, and then ask for computer's account, go next finish. You did that? Okay, cool. So under the if it was auto enrolled, the main folder personal, under that there should be a certificate, which is not showing there for me. And if I go to the local computer, the personal is also not populated. Under the personal, it should be showing certificates folder, which means it has the certificate has been auto enrolled, automatically issued by our certificate authority or ADCS, but it's not there. So we can run those commands here now. The CMD. Oh, in fact, I want to open it with the privileges. So Windows key and X, and go to command prompt admin. It shows here directly. So now I need to run those commands with administrator privileges. So first is gp update/force and cert util -pulse and shut down. After that, just restart. Shutdown /r/t0. What does that do? First update, then first update the group policy, then update the certificate, refresh the certificate to communicate with the CA, and then shut down restart in 0 seconds. So let's see if it works. Enter, updating the policy. Cert util -pulse should be running then. Computer policy updated. And restarting. Okay. See, very few thousand steps, but after that we are able to do that. But we, even if we go through that, discuss it, and we get to know, okay, that's how it is, and that's still one of the easy parts. But this really gives the insight of certificate services. Although this is the internal one, and when you buy the certificate from external source, it's not that lengthy steps. You just have to put the certificates in the proper places in Exchange server, and for VPN as well, VPN server, and that's it. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay, what is going on? So it's just restarting now. What I want to see is that there should be issued certificates showing there in the certificate services. So you're also working on that, right? You're removing RDC or
Yeah, I did start a new mission.
okay, yeah. But take snapshots at the right time, right after Active Directory is installed and restarted. Then this will never happen again, right? Did have? Oh yes.
For the admin user that we sent, right?
Sorry.
For the admin user I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think it was on auto enroll in security.
For admin user, domain admin, it should not. You're saying?
No, it didn't have it, but it had it on authenticated users. But for the domain admin, it didn't have it. Just had enroll. Is that why it don't come up automatically?
Well, it does not normally come up this soon
Okay,
for any user.
let's come up eventually.
It will. It's just taking time, and it should be showing under the personal for both. And that's why I just restarted it and run all the updates. Sometimes we had to restart 2 or 3 times, then it appeared. Sometimes we had to restart domain controller, which is, the extremist test step. Okay, let's just check now. I hope both personal folders are populated, and then we're gonna trace if this is a certificate which has been issued in the certificate authority as well by comparing the thumbprint numbers, the pairs. So I'm just gonna go back again to MMC, MMC, and then you can see them
Yeah,
with after commands.
after the reboot.
Reboot. Oh, you rebooted already. Cool, man. That's good news. Add, remove, snap in, certificates, add my user account, finito, add again my computer, both.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Does this mean there's a tunnel of hope? So personal, alright, certificates, but let's just confirm that the thumbprint is here for my user. Oh sorry, thumbprint. Last two are C870 for me. So I'm just gonna go back to my domain controller and go to the issued certificates here in the under the certificate authority, and maybe it's the last one. Yeah, C870. This is the last one for on the domain controller as well, as it is issued here, and this was for the user. Now I'm gonna confirm this for the computer. Yep, it also showed up. Server 2, double click that, details, go for thumbprint, 81A4 for computer, 81A4, and this could be the second last, I think. Yeah, it is for server 2 and 81A4 code. So it has been issued from the certificate authority. Okay, so that was one of the few tasks of certificate services through which we try to know how certificates really work, what are the major components that need to be at the right places, and any questions? Oh, okay. So, hey, we've gone through enough. Do you think we're gonna have a question? Well, this is just we so what we did, a web server, a website can be bound to port 443 and opened with HTTPS, but you have to still remove that, because if users can go without HTTPS, why would they bother put S there? So really need to remove that, and that should have been automatically also. When you put the same site.
Should also redirect, like if accidentally put HTTP,
Yeah.
I should redirect to HTTPS.
No, when it goes to HTTP, the error comes. Yeah. So error is not coming, which is strange again, and I still need to do some.
You can also configure it to redirect to the HTTPS, right? Without the popping up?
Yes. No, HTTP just also either gives error, or it should redirect, but it should not just open. Yeah, so that's what we need to still troubleshoot. Okay, this is one thing. Now let's go for IPAM, and this is just
For
so.
example, like,
Mhm.
type in like HTTP and in the Microsoft, Hotmail.com.
Back to the second topic. So let's just talk about IPAM, IP address management for exam 7412. So Overview, requirements for IPAM, demonstration. Yeah. So we need 4 servers for that. Like what? Yeah, alarm, I know. So no, we don't need 4 servers for that. That's, if we have, we still don't need that. So it facilitates IP management in organizations with complex networks by enabling administration and monitoring of DHCP and DNS. So DHCP and DNS are working together in one dashboard. That's what IPAM is. So IP administration area, planning, managing, tracking, auditing. So planning is reduces the time and expense of the planning process when changes occur in the network. It has some very cool features that normally we maintain an Excel sheet of what IP addresses are being used right now and what IP addresses are not being used. You ping, maybe there are some sniffers you use that, okay, which machines are being used, so the software automatically pings. Or maybe you have a script that pings all those machines, maybe there are thousands of them, and you want to know which machines are already formatted, which are just only names appearing in Active Directory, but there is no machine in the background. So IPAM actually does it automatically. You click it, so some of the functionality is that it checks for the next sequential. You need an IP to be given to a new server, suppose, or new set of 10 machines, but you want to know where was the last IP ending, or which a machine had the last IP. Especially that's true for static IPs, that if you have a lot of servers and printers where you're using static IP, you want to know what is the next IP without referring to your Excel sheet, or well, it should be in front of you still, but it's going to ping. It's going to check the previous list, 192.168, and then it's .121 was the last IP you gave, and after that ping. I've checked everything. Okay, just put this 122 is available right now, and I've checked the whole network. Nobody else has 122. So it's many of the tasks are automated, and you can know the features by this. So managing provides a single point of management and assists in optimizing utilization and capacity planning for DHCP and DNS. So it just gives you an overall picture of, okay, how many machines are in DNS and how many machines are in DHCP, and how they are looking there, and are they really there in the background. Tracking, so enables tracking and forecasting of IP address utilization. That's what I was talking about. It tracks the IP address as well as forecast. Maybe so you are left with this many IPs, or you have a good range of IP addresses there, and it pings as well. Oh, there's a machine, or there's a physical device with that IP. It's just not something in DHCP available. So auditing assists with compliance requirements and provides reporting for forensics and change management. So if you want to change, you want to put separate set of IP addresses or new subnet there, still it's going to give you a full report of which subnet is being used on which machines, how many machines are in which scope. So IPAM architecture consists of 4 main modules. IPAM discovery, so we discover the machines first, then IPAM address space management, then multi-server management monitoring, and operational auditing and IP address tracking. Whew, okay, that was a lot of words. A server component and a client component. So the thing is that you can deploy IPAM in the following topologies: distributed, centralized, hybrid. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to see how IPAM is installed actually, and then it looks like provisioned either manually or through GPO. So we can configure some of the features of IPAM through GPO as well. Prerequisites is IPAM server must belong to a domain. Okay, so not for independent member server. IPAM server cannot be a domain controller. Seriously? Okay, so thank God we have member server right now. IPv6 must be enabled in order to manage IPv6. Of course, we need to check that IPv6 there. If we don't check that, it's not gonna. Okay, log on with a domain account. You must be in the correct IPAM local security group. When we add the IPAM feature, yes, we are added to the local security group. Logging account logon events must be enabled for IP. Account logon events, it's actually enabled by default. for IP address tracking and auditing. So logging account logon events must be enabled for IP address tracking. So we're going to check that if it is hardware requirements. Let's not even go there. It's just very minimum. So this is how it looks like. And to create a customer address space, run the following command: add IPAM address space minus name. So let's just check that and try to add this feature. Let's just check some pictures as well. To create a provider address space, run the following command. There's a address space and then there's provider address space. Let's just go look about that. IPAM virtualized IP address space. So let's just this is the menu that we're going to go one by one and check what is going on, and how do we see DHCP and DNS portions, and where do we see that. So access control, oh, there's a play button here as well. So okay, I just want to finish up all the pictures, then we just go for the lab. And we are, I know, bored to death right now today, and Jay also did not show up, so it's like, oh come on, let's just go home now. No, I'm just kidding. Managing IP address space, I just wanted to explain that terminology first. If it is coming, my adding address space to IPAM, using IPAM to manage IP address. So look at this. IP address space is divided into blocks, subnets, ranges, and individual addresses. So address space, when we add an address space, what is this? IP address range. What is this? Is blocks, one block, and then subnet. Subnet would be, you know, a set of blocks, and then ranges would be the full area. Okay, IP address block is actually the full one. Then IP address is this one square here. So if there are this many IP addresses, it's showing there, right? Then the range, IP address range, this light blue is the range. This means 192.168.200.1 is this range, these two lines, and 192.168.201.1 is this range, right? So it's a different subnets. So IP subnets will be different. So different color means different subnets, and each block is one IP address. So with a picture we can see that how many devices are there that have an IP address, and how many subnets we are using here, and you know, full range, and this will all be called IP address block. So each block IP address, each color is separate subnet. Now each color is a range of IP address from here to here, and then IP subnet will be the whole thing, these two. So let's just try to do it now, and then so this is what we can see. You can view and manage the IP address space using the following views: IP address blocks, IP addresses, ranges, addresses. Again, this is you know, graphical view. These are the actual addresses we can see. Then inventory and address range groups. So this is okay. That's how it looks like as well. I add IPv4 here. IP address is given here. Virtualization, DHCP reservation, DNS record. Yeah, the same you know, reservation and records, A record, and PTR records. And also automatically create IP address subnet. Let's finish this photos here. General virtualization, importing and updating address space. Okay, find and allocate available IP address. Yeah, this is what I was saying, that what is the available IP address, you know, and what are the IP addresses that we can put. So when you right click the range, there's a range 192.168.30.0 up and 192.168.30.1. No, this is the range, and this is the start IP address 30.1 up to 30.254. So maybe there are just 20 IP addresses assigned to the machines. The rest of the IP addresses are not assigned to the machines. So it will tell you, find and allocate available IP address, that which ones are used up among within this range and which ones are not. How many are available, right? So available IP addresses here in the next screen. Suppose this 30.1 is available, 30.2 is available, or not available. Then find next. If you click find next here, it's going to check if which one is available or which one is not pinging. So ping reply status, it's saying no reply. DNS record status not found. So you don't have to separately go to DNS, you don't have to separately go to DHCP to check that. In one console, or put that IP address, find next. It's gonna check in ping by pinging and also by going to the DNS record. And this was in find available IP address. Okay, reclaim IP addresses. Well, as the name says, reclaim. So what happens automatically in DHCP? So the lease finishes, the IP address is reclaimed. Here you can forcefully reclaim even if the lease is not finished. So maybe you know yourself that okay, its lease is going to finish after 30 days, and I know that this machine is going today, so just reclaim it now. So that's the forced reclaim instead of DHCP automatically checking that. And then reclaim IP address is here, the whole delete DNS delete DNS resource records, delete DHCP reservation. So whatever records are available for an IP address, sometimes they are left for years and the IP address is still there in DNS showing while the machine now has been gone for months at least. So when you reclaim an IP address, it just deletes the record then and there, which is good. It's a good cleanup right after you have, you're getting back this IP address. So basic configurations managed by service, IPAM, service instance, is it static or dynamic, and assignment date from select date and expiry date for each IP. You can do that, which is not for static IP is okay, and I'm not talking about static. Why would you give start and it's for dynamic. So maintaining IP address inventory, edit IP address, create DHCP reservation, create DNS host record. Simple options separately available in DHCP and DNS are in one line here. DHCP reservation, create DNS, delete DNS. These are all create. So reservation, host A record, and PTR record. These are the main we play every day. These are the records for which we get the requests. So it's in one right click. You can just create a reservation for this IP address. You can create a DNS host record for this IP address. Wow, there are so many. Hey, finally I got rid of the slide. Yay. So is it a feature or is it a role? Feature? So I don't need this. I'm just going to import it later as well. Okay, so let's go to dashboard. Let's go to add roles and features and go to next. Definitely we could not find it in the role, so we're just going to go for feature, and it should be somewhere. There it is. So IP address management, or IPAM, in features. So when we click it, add features pops up, next, and if it needs a restart, yes, otherwise install. So it has lots of, it needs some time for us to actually play with it and try to do a lot of tests regarding all the IP addresses, but really it's a central console. But once we have installed IPAM, I should not be installing it on the Win controller, but I just did. Let's see if there is any error. It says that don't install it on the main controller. Okay, anyway, on the left side you see IPAM now, and it has its own full dashboard here, connected to DC and connected as sysnet admin. So connect to IPAM server. This is the IPAM server, or start the server discovery. We can do that, but connect to IPAM server, if we say that select a server to connect to, and if the required IPAM server is unavailable in the above list, please close this dialog. Well, we are connected, Second thing is provision the IPAM server. Select the provisioning method to enable IPAM. IP address management provides us centralized management. So yeah, this is just saying that, oh, we are perfect, we are good people. But anyway, it's just trying to discover where is our DHCP, who is our DHCP server, which physical server or virtual server is our DHCP and DNS server. If there's an NPS server, it's going to take that into account. And now it's going to discover, oh, I'm on DC. That's a no-no. But anyway, it's going to provision or try to discover where is our DHCP. You can choose these servers to be managed or unmanaged by IPAM. So we can actually choose managed servers must be configured with access settings that allow IPAM to remotely manage. So IPAM is now going to ask where is the DHCP and DNS role, so I could add it in my dashboard. And once you add it, don't try, we should not try to separately then access those DNS and DHCP consoles once we have added those to IPAM. So you can either configure these settings manually on each server, or IPAM can provision managed servers automatically using group policies. So it has configured group policies as well itself, or it will. This wizard allows you to choose and optionally create an IPAM database. Local security groups are also created. Okay. If you choose the GPO based provisioning, you cannot change to the manual method and completing this wizard. However, you can. Okay. Anyway, let's just start the wizard where it needs to know which server has what. First of all, database is WID is Windows Internal Database. Enter the location where IPAM will store the database, which is okay. It's just a small database anyway. But if it's a large organization with so many DNSs and DHCPs, so you would just go for SQL Server and create a separate database for that. We're just going for small database. Next. So group policy based provisioning method requires GPO to be created in each domain that you manage with this IPAM server. Suppose there are child domains as well. IPAM will automatically configure settings on managed servers by adding the server to appropriate GPO as well. This can be especially useful in a large network with many managed servers. So yes, we can just manual provisioning method requires that you configure the required network shares, security groups, and firewall rules. Let's just stick to group policy based, because what else it does, GPOs that you create must follow naming conventions used by IPAM. However, you can customize the GPO. The GPO name prefix you specify should be unique. So let's give it a prefix of sysnet GPO. Well, sysnet name prefix you specify should be unique for each IPAM server in the Active Directory. So maybe this is the Toronto branch. Maybe we are putting a child domain there, New York branch, and we need IPAM for there, so we could just go for New York GPO or New York branch here. You can create GPOs in each IPAM managed domain using the invoke. So there's a PowerShell command as well. So this is just saying that automatically there will be group security groups created, automatically there will be group policies created for that, and IPAM can be one IPAM for one domain can be configured. Main things are here, and click next. This wizard will make the following changes. Oh wow. Provision the IPAM server to use the GPO based provisioning. IPAM will use group policy. Okay. These security groups managed server, these settings will be applied on managed server. So these group policies will be created. Sysnet GPO DHCP, Sysnet GPO DNS, and Sysnet GPO DC NPS for domain controls, and if there is NPS or VPN created or radius server added, so it's going to add a group policy for that too. So automatically it's doing all that. So create a IPAM provisioning GPOs in each IPAM managed domain using the blah blah blah. So it's going to create a database. It's going to add group policies for DHCP separate, group policies for DNS separate, and for DC and NPS separate. Enable IP address tracking, create local security group, everything automated. Wow. What else we need? Okay. Apply. Provisioning in progress. So it's trying to discover where's the DHCP, where's the DNS, and how much time left for 130. No, that's not. That's what we are doing. Not IPAM. It's just 11 minutes. Come on. And it says this: IPAM deployment failed the following provision. IPAM failed inner exception of more details. Some or all identity references could not be translated. You can restart this provisioning wizard. Did it complete for you, or whoever is following? Anyone following? You following? We all started on DC, right?
No, I was restoring it on a number server.
Okay, that was a good idea. Come on, it's saying don't do it on DC. Come on, we should just follow the instructions. Okay, add roles and features quickly. Next. But although every time I did it on member server, today was special, I guess. Seriously. IPAM, add features, next. Install. Oh, so maybe it's because it's DC. Oh, come on. Okay, done. And close and start. Now it needs to first connect to an IPAM server, which now it shows it connected. Okay. Once connected, I should remove it from the previous one, but anyway, provision the IPAM server, number 2 step. Now I'm just gonna go next, obviously. So next, yeah, smaller database, and let's just put something else now. Tor GPO. Oh, did it create Cisnet GPO policies already? Because that's not. Okay, group policy is still the same even if I run it from the second one, but anyway, next. Now it's gonna create Tor GPO policies, apply, provisioning in progress. Okay, should have removed it from the DC. Okay, while it's doing that, well, for the video, let's just. Okay, done. Done? Doing it? Okay. So it's installed or provisioned on a member server. So yes, we're not supposed to do that on the main controller. So configure use server discovery. Domains selected, none. So if I go to third step, which is configure server discovery, although it should have discovered by now. For group policy based provisioning, create GPOs for each. Select domains to discover. It's already there, dude. Select the server roles to discover. Okay, add. Okay, here when we select our domain as a third step, it's saying that what servers you want to manage from this IPAM, and all the 3 servers are selected, which is okay. It's just saying that do not install on the DC, but we can still, and because DHCP server and DNS servers are actually on domain controller, so that's why it has to be selected. So this is a discovery process, the third point, and nothing else here other than details for server discovery schedule. There's a schedule here that maybe we have installed DNS on a separate server, so it could just discover that on a scheduled basis. So start server discovery. Now it's discovering the server. So first we configured the server discovery, that it's which domain these servers are. Now the server discovery has started. Select or add servers to manage and verify IPAM's access. Retrieve data from. So please wait for their completion. Some server discovery tasks are going on, so it's good that it's shown us the numbers to configure. Okay. Yeah, we have to go configure one by one sequentially. So that's why I went for first, second number, third number, and now fourth. So, how's the, because next lab would require working next Saturday. So it's going on, right? The installation. It stopped? It stopped or you stopped? Oh yeah. Yeah, you could just take over that, but next Saturday. So, but if you're doing it at home, it's also okay. So, okay, next data collection is on. So it did the server discovery. Now, this is to confirm if we have the communication or connection to those servers. So, select or add, set manageability status unspecified, IPAM access status blocked on. SAN 01, it discovered SAN, but it is shut down for us, right? But what about this? Manager status unspecified, added server. Server type is this, DC01. We have server type DNS server, DHCP is also here. Yeah, DEC is also there. Manageability status, managed. I'm just saying that this is managed and don't consider it unmanaged. Managed means that IPAM has added it and we can access the features of this server from IPAM. So I've manually changed it to managed. Can I click verify? It's not enabled, so press OK. Let's see if it accepts that it is updating the IPAM GPO failed. Automated deployment settings for DC01 failed with the following error. The attempt to in domain for server to ensure that GPO exists and IPAM server's computer account has permission to edit the GPO. Hey, I have permission. Added the GPO manually to add this server. Detailed GPO was not found in the parameter. Server operation will continue, but the, you know what? Maybe the firewall is on, or maybe, you know, the environment is too screwed up. While we have time, I'm just trying to. Oh, okay. Yep, we are officially working on a screwed up server. But I did create those. I need to really remove that IPAM. And second thing, first time it did create those GPOs, I guess, for, you know, with that separate name. So now it is giving that one. So I'm just removing this on the first server. Remove. So Michael, you're doing that? Kind of.
I'm on other edit server.
Which is the fifth point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Does it say block?
Yeah.
For there are two servers or one server?
Take an update. Just one.
Okay.
ADC.
And does it say when? So you have to double click or right click and edit that, and you have to just click managed instead of unmanaged.
Am I okay?
Yeah. When you click manage, is there any error?
Yeah. Updates and same error.
Oh, the same I got. So our account, it detects that has no rights to do GPOs. Automated deployment of IPAM settings with the following error. Server operation will continue, but the managed server GPO settings must be configured. Sorry, you were saying? Yeah. Oh, and you know that's retry doesn't work, so definitely unblock IPAM access. How? What do you mean? Why? Where? When? Okay. IPAM group, you're right. Okay, that's a good point. Tools, activity user and computers on domain controller. If there's a IPAM security group, maybe it's in built-in. Nope. Or maybe in users. Group policy. Anything saying IPAM. Nope. Or we could just find. No. Oh, there were some. Okay, Tor GPU. Was there a Tor? Anything that it actually created? Wow, it did not create anything called Tor. Seriously? It did not create anything, so this means it doesn't have access on group policy management, group policy object to create anything. Why does it not have access? It's a domain user. Built-in account access control. Well, to be continued. It's 1:30, so we're gonna be continuing this, and obviously, you know what, I'm just going to, because it has been already, so many roles have been installed here, I'm just gonna, you know, either put it back to, because on a not very messed up environment it works fine, it just smoothly works. So this is the machine that I used for, you know, failover clustering. This is the machine having lots of other roles, although IPAM is not a huge thing, but it needs troubleshooting. Either I'll troubleshoot or else create a new environment and create the video again, or add the perfect lab with that video, or better yet, give the video for previous class where it was, everything was successful, same steps. My favorite. Oh, okay, because I don't have to do anything. So let's just stop that here now, guys, and we're going to continue, because the first 15-20 minutes we're going to do IPAM, and then